this. Seriously, my engine runs fine. It runs fine.
This is a V6, 3.5.
Is it yours a V6?
Yeah.
Oh my god. We have the same engine.
Oh my god. So that is not at all how that works.
Wait, are they both V6s? Is that not how that works?
Oh yeah, we have the same engine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same one. Same exact one.
I don't know. They're both V6s. Isn't V6 like the type of engine?
Yeah. It's not as bad in here.
See? Thank you. It's just, I'm telling you, it's little thing. I don't know what that was. Be careful with my paint. Please don't mess it up.
Sorry.
So this light was the light with the Band-Aid. You can see the Band-Aid mark.
Does that keep it on there?
Yeah, because I was driving on the highway, and look, it pops out. So it comes out like this.
Oh.
And I was driving, it was like rattling. So
Band-Aided it?
yeah, because I didn't have tape, so I put a Band-Aid on it. I didn't have super glue. They didn't have any at the gas station. So what I did,
When was this though?
like a while ago, you have to
Holy fuck.
hit it in,
fuck.
and then you put a Band-Aid on it. It stays. It's good. It's not bad.
You know what's crazy? This is Infinity, right?
Yes.
I know this car at its prime was fucking beautiful.
Okay, it's still beautiful now.
Nah, this
Okay.
nah.
It's not bad. It just like this is little. This is little. It just comes out, but no, you wouldn't know unless I told you. You know what I mean?
Why is this black?
So the previous owner flexi dipped this, and then he rubbed the paint around, and it got on the car. So then when I pointed it out to them at the dealership, they said, "We'll take $100 off." So I was like, "Okay."
So how much did you pay for this car?
$7K.
And this was 7 years ago?
Yeah.
So you paid $7K for this car 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And no less than 5 minutes ago,
Uh-huh.
you told me that you think you could sell this car for 7K. Now tell me, how does that happen? How?
All right, maybe like 5K.
This thing isn't even worth half of the Yu-Gi-Oh box.
It's worth like 5K.
And
5K.
this can't be opened.
No, you cannot open this.
I'm not gonna lie, your back's looking good.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah. How does this car even still function?
It's really not. I get people to and from. I do. Oh, there is something sticky here. I don't know what that is. Don't touch that.
Yeah, it's like, why is it sticky, right?
What do you mean?
Like, why is it sticky? Like, what's stopping you from getting like a moist towel and some oil and just getting the sticky off? What's stopping you from doing that? Like, why is my seat thingies covered in black stuff that we don't know what it is? Why is that way? What is stopping you from just getting some Abso Pure oil and some 98 proof and just putting it on there and clean it? It'd be 5 minutes.
You sound like a disappointed father. You sound so sad. Do you wanna drive my car?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Is this seat meant for someone who weighs as much as I do?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the seatbelt actually works.
It does.
It's supposed to stop you.
No, if you jerk, it stops you. Jerk forward, keep go.
I'm not gonna be jerking in your car.
Only in your dreams, buddy. What are you doing? Stop. Stop. There's a turn. What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Wow, your brakes. You gotta push that motherfucker down.
They're fine.
You gotta push it down.
No, they're not even that bad.
Oh my god.
I push them like normally. I feel
Bro,
like
you gotta shove it in there to even get any sort of response. You gotta just push it in there hard. Oh my god. Holy f, these brakes are wild. We're gonna die because of these brakes.
No, the brakes they work fine. You just push them harder than other cars. It's not bad. It's really not bad.
You gotta just
I wouldn't have got them checked. I literally wouldn't have got them checked. They said it was fine.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. It's not shitty.
See? I told you.
Oh,
What?
there's no digital speedometer,
so I have to read the speed off the gauge.
I have not done this.
Do cars now not have normal gauges?
They do, but you don't have to read them because it tells you how fast you're going.
What are you talking?
So we're going about, dude, I haven't, wow, this is crazy. My privilege is showing.
What the? You haven't used a gauge
Hold
before?
on. I feel so vulnerable. I have no blind spot detectors, no cameras.
Use your eyes.
No, I do, but the problem is I still feel like I have no defenses.
Right, but there is a way to counteract blind spots. You adjust your camera so there are no blind spots.
That's impossible. That's not a
No, it's literally not impossible. You turn your cameras more outward. I learned that in school. They teach you in driving school.
You always have blind spots.
There was a wrong way that they taught it a different way in my school, and they said you could.
bitch.
Drive your class, bitch, okay? Unlike you driving your crazy ass GTR.
I've been driving since I was literally 10.
Okay, what if I save up money and
See,
then...
you've already made a mistake. Can I tell you what you need to do?
Yes.
You need to go into a dealership and just seduce one of the salesmen. That's what you need to do.
I don't think that works that way.
It does.
Can they just give you discounts?
Yes.
So what, I just pop the titties out and just say...
Pop the titties out.
Hey.
Well, is that how you do it?
Yeah. Hey.
Let's go!
Oh, they're cops. Oh, there's no cops. You didn't even look, did you?
I didn't need to because we're going 35 miles an hour.
Oh my god, that is all you did.
Yes, all that was the 35 miles an hour. So what do you want?
Just ask them for the new cantina items, all of them. You have to open the door.
When you're ready, then.
Oh, hello, sorry, my friend's car doesn't work right. Do you have new cantina items?
Yeah, there should be a whole thing out there for it.
Can we get all the new stuff? Everything.
Can we have, my friend wants all of the new cantina items. Is that possible? Like one of each?
There's like 6
What
of
else?
them.
Can I have a chicken quesadilla, please?
Okay.
She...
And, do you have can I have like a large water?
What else?
Do you have cinnamon twists?
Okay.
And that's it.
That will be everything.
Cinnamon twist, damn.
Sauce?
Whatever you want to give us.
Okay, pull the window.
Thank you.
Can you not slam that fucking car?
Bro, that guy is not happy.
Dude, they fucking hate you.
Bro, it's not my fault. Your door doesn't fucking roll down.
I'm sorry, what the f*** do you want? Thank you.
Sorry about the door. The window doesn't work.
Can you shut the f*** up?
Sorry? Okay, thank you so much.
You close the door and you're still...
Dude, your car is bricked. I'm gonna be honest. I think Taco Bell's just not that good.
I'm hesitant to say that only because when I think about fast food restaurants, right? They held it down for me when no one else would. You know what I mean? When I had like McDonald's money, I couldn't afford anything. It's hard for me to ever hate on a fast food place when it's not that
You're
great.
from Virginia, right? Is that where you worked at McDonald's?
Mhm.
You didn't have a Whataburger there.
No.
You didn't have an In-N-Out. You didn't have a P-Terry's.
I've never even been to Peter's.
So let me exactly. Wow. So the thing is, I'm from Michigan, and we also didn't have those things.
Mhm.
So Taco Bell was everyone's favorite because it was different from Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's.
It's kind of how it is in Virginia.
Right? So that's what people like Taco
Wait,
Bell.
1 second. Can you tell me if the the temperature meter on the car is heating up or is it's in the middle? It's fine, right?
It's in the middle, yeah.
It's low.
It's like halfway.
Oh yeah, that's normal. Okay, as long as it's not going higher, because then we'll have to turn off the car.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue. You were saying?
I forgot. You can go to In-N-Out and get a whole meal for $5.
No, you cannot.
Bet money on it.
Bet me money right now. You cannot go to In-N-Out and get a whole meal for $5.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot. You cannot.
Yes, you can. Oh, my stomach
No.
hurts. I'm allergic to cheese too.
Then why would you agree to do this?
Because I just want to make you happy. You're like my stepsister.
Oh no, there's a guy outside taking the orders. Oh no,
What?
oh no,
Tell
oh
him.
no. No, no, no.
Where are you hiding from?
Because that's so embarrassing.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Can I just get a normal hamburger?
Yes, sir. Just bean bun?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Would you like any fries with that?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Would you like a drink with that as well?
Can I have water?
Water? Yes, sir.
Okay, how much is that?
That is 601.
601.
Thank you.
Okay, do I pay here or do I pay over there?
You pay over there. So just double check a plain hamburger, 1 fry and water.
How much taxes is on that?
46 cents.
46 cents?
I'm sorry, my dad is really cheap.
Okay, no worries. It'll be 601 in total.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Another person?
Wait.
I'm sorry. Is this for the car?
No, we'll put it in a little baggie.
So if I can figure out the first order, that'll be 601.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bro, 601, bro? 601? I'm 2 cents off?
No.
That's insane. No, back when I used to come here, it was $5.
What, like back in the 1970s? You
Bro.
old bitch, right? What are you talking about?
601.
Also, why did you say that to that guy?
What?
How much tax is that? You sound like a bitter old man. You need to apologize.
To be fair, without taxes, it's in the $5. It's $5
Okay,
without
but
taxes.
$5.99. Somebody said $5.99 does not equal $5.
Bro, it's $5.
It's $5 and some change.
Yes.
Okay, but you didn't say and some change. You said,
Okay, sorry.
You said $5 or under.
I didn't say under 5.
Okay, but you said $5 max. You said
Bro,
5.
That's crazy. It used to be $4.98, bro.
How's this?
This is Drake?
Yeah.
This is not Drake.
No, that's fabulous.
Who are all these people, man? You remind me of my mom a lot. You even look like her.
Tigers this weekend. Got Scooble pitching, Flaherty, Manning. Let's go with Christian Walker.
All right, let's make it our BetMGM pick of the week. It's Christian Walker to hit a home run that could turn into a grand slam. If you bet it and hit it with $10, you're going to win up to $50K in daily prizes with our friends at BetMGM, or share that prize with every other winning bettor. Again, $10 is all it takes. And in the meantime, download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on your iOS or Android device, or check them out at BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $10 in your newly created BetMGM Sportsbook account. Place your first wager, you're going to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if that loses. So if you want to take the D-backs money line, sprinkle a little coin on it, up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if it loses. If it wins, you get the payout. If not, get some bonus bets to dabble with. But you got to dabble with the bonus code PHNX, and you got to sign up with our friends at BetMGM. Check out the show notes for full details. Now listen to my guy Shane Diefenbach talk about it in the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
I concede that Damon is our resident baseball expert, but Ketel Marte is also on fire.
Yeah, someone said Ketel in the comments.
Yeah.
That's probably. I mean, you're probably getting lowest odds on Ketel, but
True.
He's on fire right now. He's so good.
Also, what's when you got your grill fired up? How about get some Butcher Box and throw them right there? Start getting them some good grill marks on them. And it's delicious. The meat it's unmatched. We actually fired up some steaks for Mother's Day yesterday. And I looked like a pretty good father/husband to my wife with that choice. Grass-fed New York strip steaks. Anybody in for those? Perfectly cooked? Yeah, you got to get in on Butcher Box right now and save some money while you're doing so. Get in on the beef, get in on the seafood, get in on the poultry, the pork. Can't go wrong with Butcher Box. It's as convenient as you could possibly get. It's high-quality meat and seafood you can trust. You're not going to make any mistakes here. Humanely raised, no antibiotics, no added hormones. You're just getting great meat, poultry, seafood for a great deal. Free shipping always. And also you're going to get curated and customized box plans just for you, what you're looking for, and you're going to save money. You're going to save time. No more multiple trips to the grocery store. You're going to get delivered right to your doorstep. Go to Butcher Box. They're offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get $20 off their first box plus free meat by using the link butcherbox.com/PHNX. That's butcherbox.com/PHNX. Use the code PHNX to receive the exclusive offer today before time runs out.
Time's not running out on the Cardinals receiving core. It's only getting better and better by the day. So again, last week, a plethora of moves and information, including, if you missed Friday's show, Zay Jones, the newest member of the Arizona Cardinals, signing a one-year contract worth up to $4.25 million.
Mm-hmm.
We're told probably close to the vet minimum with some incentives. Cards make it official today. So Zay Jones is in the fold, but what does that mean for the Arizona Cardinals' big three? Speaking of the big three, Greg Dortch, part of this program, friend of this program, posted this photo today. Just a simple emoji. Shh. Yeah, that's in reference maybe to a little bit of some outside noise that he's experiencing. He's the new number 4, the slot receiver, with, I don't know, just a couple of draft stalwarts there To his right, Michael Wilson, number 14. And who's that right next to Michael Wilson, Bo? I can't make that out.
Let's see, that's a 1 and an 8, a big, broad-shouldered, 6'4" wide receiver.
Adonis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there those New Balance gloves looking fresh? I mean, they're looking at their hands in this photo, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr., by the way. Looking at their hands is like, my God, look at how many receptions these bad boys are going to haul in this year.
Just one of the greatest photos in the history of social media. Thank you for Greg Dortch blessing our timeline with that. The big three in AZ. And we're fired up about that. And listen, Zay Jones is brought in to be competition and to be depth, and he's played a lot of slot receiver, and that's Greg Dortch's role, right? I'm going to think for a second, Greg Dortch is going to concede anything to Zay Jones. So I asked you this, Bo. Now you've had time to process this. What is Zay Jones's role going to be to start training camp into the preseason? We know what Greg Dortch can do. What does Zay Jones immediately bring to the Cardinals, and what's his job inevitably, assuming nobody goes down?
I mean, somebody that can kind of help these younger players in finding their process, being a veteran. But I think right out of gates, he's a depth piece. He's a depth piece, and he's a guy that is going to see only I would say about 30% max percentage of the offensive snaps. And I think that's maybe being on the higher side. But if you look at his stats from last year, we mentioned that he didn't play close to a full season. He only played in 9 games. 7 of those starts, he had 34 catches for 321 yards, just over 37 yards per game. But if you kind of just take that out to a full season's length, that's still a 600-yard receiving season. I think that you would take that if you needed Zay Jones to play that type of snap load for the season. Like, I still think that the Arizona Cardinals envision their wide receiver core to run through MHJ, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, and then whatever's left over, whatever scraps, whatever meat that Johnny left on his plate in Indianapolis is left over for Zay Jones to eat in this offense. That's what he's going to get.
Again, it's the uneducated on the Twitter streets. And again, you can say I like Zay Jones more than Greg Dortch. I mean, okay. Did you watch the Cardinals last year? Probably not. Greg Dortch was awesome down the stretch. He was their most consistent target. Acrobatic catches, right? Cardinals made sure, we're tendering Greg Dortch. He's not going anywhere. And they signed a return specialist this offseason from Seattle that happens to play running back. So that tells me, Greg's going to have an opportunity to carve out more of a role offensively. Now, he's not going to play outside like he did at the end of last year, but this is Greg Dortch's job to lose. And I'm betting on him not to lose it. It's always been Greg Dortch is having to climb up the robust and now formerly expensive, overrated, bloated wide receiver depth chart, right? I think right now, I posted this on Twitter. Last year, the Cardinals had the number 1 most expensive wide receiver core in the NFL at 53.2. This year, pending the acquisition of Zay Jones, which is not going to bump it up hardly at all, they're at 29th at $13.5 million. I mean, think about the players that Greg Dortch has outlasted on this roster. I know it's not apples to oranges. Some guys made a lot of money. Hollywood Brown's come and gone. DeAndre Hopkins, goodbye. Rondale Moore, they play the same position, theoretically. Greg Dortch is like, no, I'm going to take your spot and your number. I'm a better football player than you. Thanks. Poor Rondale Moore is already having to give up his number to, 100-year-old Michael Penix in Atlanta now, too. Poor Rondale can't catch a break. But I do not bet against Greg Dortch at all. He is the antithesis of, I think, what Gannon wants to showcase on this roster. You can be an undrafted player or the 4th pick in the draft. You have to be a tough SOB. You have to come ready to compete, play your ass off. By hook or by crook, you're beaten up on NFL Sundays. You are here to help the team, and nobody has done that. I'd argue, outside of a James Conner or Jalen Thompson, better than Greg Dortch over the last 18 months.
No, I mean, he's been their most consistent guy. And sometimes that's by default, but also, to a testament to Greg Dortch is he had to bang it over the head of his past 2 coaching staffs. We saw him early on in training camp in 2022, and he was the best receiver on the field. And it was a solid, I mean, you had a suspended Diop. You had, Hollywood Brown was dealing with different issues, but you saw during training camp,
Rondale was hurt. Remember, Rondale hurt his hamstring right before the start.
Yeah, he was getting open. He was, even when he wasn't getting open and he had to go win a one-on-one, he was doing it in training camp. He was doing it in preseason games. He was doing it when his numbers called in the regular season. And, he was able to parlay that into a good, solid campaign. And then the next year, under new leadership, he had to go prove himself again. And it felt like, oh, well, this new leadership, they've seen the tape, right? They've seen it with their own eyes in training camp and preseason. And he was the number one receiver for Clayton Tune when he would get into the game. But no, apparently it didn't resonate early on with Petzing and Gannon and the people who make the decisions as far as roster and playing time. And then he just continued to do what he always does. He just, every time he gets his opportunity, he made a big time contributions to this team. And now I think that this organization understands what they have. And we talked to Monty Ossenfort about it at the combine. So what's the latest as far as Greg Dortch? At that time, he hadn't signed his exclusive rights free agent tender yet. And he's like, look, Greg Dortch has made some plays for us in the past, and Greg Dortch is going to continue to make plays for us in the future. And he's expanding his role, and his expanded role in my eyes, and I think in this podcast size, is as a starting wide receiver at that slot position.
We get caught up in draft positioning and how much you make and your attributes physically. I remember watching Andy Isabella, who got so many opportunities because of what? He was drafted in the second round, right? Kime and Cliff, they tried to make it work. And then, like, you would just watch him, you're like, that's just not a winning football player. Okay, that might seem harsh. You're just not helping anybody win. You're running backwards ahead of the first down marker. You're dropping passes. Greg Dortch is the opposite of that. He's a winning football player. That's as easy and as simple as you can put it. If you're trying to explain the Cardinals and what they do to somebody who doesn't consume the Cardinals or this team, probably a lot of people on ESPN, you just tell him, hey, Greg Dortch, he's a winner. We want him around. And that's what he, represents. So maybe Zay Jones is coming here to compete with Greg. Maybe he's coming here to be, who knows, Michael Wilson contingency plan. If Michael Wilson has to miss time again, he can play outside. It's a no-lose situation because, to your point, if Zay Jones, we fast forward to the end of the year and Zay Jones is a non-factor, he plays about 25% of the snaps, guess what? Then everything above Zay Jones on the depth chart went right. Marvin, big year. Michael Wilson, huge second year. Greg Dortch, productive in the slot. Trey McBride, like Tip. Elijah Higgins, the running backs. Like, there's a lot of mouths to feed suddenly. That wasn't the case last year.
Yeah, you've got Zay Jones is not a necessity. He's a luxury. Like when you look at this wide receiver class, or this wide receiver room at the Cardinals, like they've got their starting X, they've got their starting Z, they've got their starting slot. They even have, some decent depth. But to be able to see at this point in the offseason, post-draft, a player like Zay Jones become available, Monty Ossenfort's not going to just say, well, we're set. No, he looked at it. He talked to a representative. They brought Zay Jones in, according to Jordan Schultz, and they liked the fit. And that's what good teams do. And he
doesn't
added.
It feel like to you like it's a playoff move? Don't you think like this is a move that like we believe that could help us get to where we want to go?
Well, I mean, it just strengthens the room. So if you have a player that had options, and he did, reportedly, with the Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, but he decided to come to the desert instead. I mean, that is just a testament to the organization and where, even players coming from the outside, they get a good glimpse in these short visits, and they talk to Gannon and they talk to Petzing and they talk to Monty Ossenfort, and they see the vision and they see, the team. I'm sure the team was working out. You had Kyler in there before he took his teammates on a trip to Oklahoma. I mean, it's once you start to kind of pay attention to what's going on here, I think it's easy to get excited. And it's just, you look at the depth that they've been able to acquire and add to this organization in the short time. It's pretty unbelievable. When you look at where the wide receiver room was at this time last year, where the running back room was at this time last year, you're just like, hello, and like who's in here outside of James Conner? And that's how the team was built previous to that, right? It was like, oh, we've got the one guy at running back, we've got maybe the two guys at wide receiver, and then that's it. And then there's no fallback plan. And then that's not how Monty Ossenfort operates. He understands that this is a grind, that this is a marathon, and you got to be able to get to it. Like, and sometimes you're not the healthiest team doing it. and he's setting himself up because he understands the rigors of the NFL schedule.
Ozzy, if the Cardinals sign a vet edge, sign me up. We're going to the Super Bowl. Tongue in cheek, obviously. Is that now the biggest weakness on the roster? I mean, I think you and I thought that post draft anyway, but there were a lot of people saying you got to get a receiver. Well, they got one now. Somebody that had some cachet on the open market, had options, right? Do you think the Cardinals, let me ask you this, Bo Brock, do the Cardinals add a veteran edge rusher between now and training camp?
Yeah, I don't know if training camp, if the opportunity is going to present itself, but like when we go through these power rankings, right? And you look at these teams and they're not, completely devoid of talent. But you see a team like the Saints, or you see a team like the Raiders or the Titans or the Giants. I know the Giants are going to part ways with a Brian Burns, but you start to kind of look at their rosters and say, do they have any pass rushers? Like once things get started and they're going nowhere fast, like does a pass rusher become available before the trade deadline in November? So I think that's probably the most realistic time outside of just being able to kick the tires on somebody that is it Ngakwe that you keep mentioning? Like,
yeah, I mean that he would check a lot of boxes. Bud Dupree got signed recently. A lot of people had been pushing that. He didn't do much for me. And Yannick Ngakwe is still relatively young. He's somebody that is 2 years removed from almost a double-digit sack season. Didn't do much with Chicago last year. But Han shot first asking you who's even available right now. It's not great. But my only pushback is like you got a room full of unknowns. You got no known commodities, in my opinion.
Yeah. You got to find somebody. Like when I say Carolina, they have nobody off the edge. They signed Jadeveon Clowney, but there's just really it is kind of slim pickings out there. Even if like these teams can immediately fall out of contention, which is pretty possible. I mean,
whomever you sign is not going to be an every down player. You need a specialist to come in. Ian's saying Yannick is so mid. Is mid better than what they had last year, though? They went 7 games without a sack. Now, their interior D line is night and day. It's not even close. So that's going to be helped indirectly. I'm sure that's what they're saying. We got better D tackles. It's going to make the edge rushers better. You got this is the second year for Zaven and BJ. But, like, those two players have immense amount of pressure because you can hide certain players in certain positions. Like, you can either rush the passer or you can't.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, with their front four last year, like, now, no disrespect, it was laughably bad. They could not go look at what they tried to do against Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. It was a joke in consecutive weeks. They couldn't do anything.
I think Carl Lawson moves me the most out of the available options.
Is he available, Damon?
He is. He only played 6 games last year. He was hurt, but he's kind of been known as a guy who underperformed his sack totals.
I don't hate that.
He had like 5 sacks, 7 sacks, stuff like that, but was always rated really high by PFF. They think he's a good run defender, I'm pretty sure.
He's only like 29, 28, right?
Yeah, 28, 29. Yeah, I think that's the one I would pick if I had a choice there.
Could you get in on somebody like Matthew Judon for the Pats?
I feel like that would have already happened, don't you? Given the ties
not now. I'm talking about like once you get through training camp.
Oh, you're trying to trade for somebody. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, but like once the Patriots, like once Judon and everybody sees the writing on the wall and they're like, oh, this is going to be a lost season. Can you go and pull off and get a vet?
What would you be willing to give up though for him? Because he's really good.
So he's good, like a 3rd round pick.
That's
or are we
too
talking?
much, I think.
I think that's what it would have to be. To be honest,
last year or this offseason,
it's 31.
You got your backup quarterback for Rondell Moore. Okay, is there anybody on the roster that's a fringe player at any position that you could dangle to another team for a rotational pass rusher, like the Desmond Ridder, Rondell Moore equivalent? Probably not, right?
No. I mean, when the trade went down, it was like player for player trade. It's just rare in the NFL.
Who called it though? That day we were talking on the phone. The Cardinals don't have any depth.
Yeah, I mean, Ian makes. I mean, it's David and BJ. They just need to perform. And then I see one of the chats we had up there as far as Xavier Thomas, who we're going to get to talk to tomorrow, his introductory press conference. at the facility, the Clemson 5th rounder.
Well, can I just
He
say
had a real
something though?
opportunity.
Like
Yeah.
that'd be great if that happened. I can't sit here and say, "Hey, we'll be okay. We got a 5th rounder from Clemson." Like
No, I hear you.
that's not a serious option. And I would never say it to Xavier's face because he would murder me in plain sight. But like
No, it's just like, hey,
a
the
day
house is on
3
fire, and
pass
you're like,
rusher
hey,
is
it's
not a
cool. I got
serious
this
option.
bottle of water here. I'm gonna put this one out. It's just like, no, you need more than that.
BJ is a serious option. Like he has to deliver. He's a top 50 pick from last year. This is his spot. There's no competition. You get a whole off season. If you aren't producing, like people are saying, Zaven has like the Cardinals have pressure maybe to get something out of him this year, but if he doesn't perform, he's walking as a free agent. They have no money tied to him. Ojulari was handpicked by Gannon and Austin Ford, and he was injured last year to start training camp. He did not look right. He was coming back, trying to get into shape like that. If you ask me right now, who's like the top 3 players that have to perform this year? Obviously, it's Kyler. BJ's in that group. I think Jonah Williams is in that group. Like a couple guys that are under immense pressure for this team because if they don't perform, then they got no shot. They got no shot.
Yeah, it's they did. I want to say through the first 10 games of the season, they had some pretty surprising numbers as far as TFLs and sack numbers, and then that production just completely went away. Now you can also kind of tie that to who is available up front. And the Cardinals are it goes back to what we were talking about in the first segment. Like it's a much improved defensive line. And you've got 2 guys who have been consistently healthy in their careers in Jones and Bilal Nichols and also Darius Robinson. Like, is that going to, and also going into their second year, is it going to set up Zaven Collins and BJ Ojulari and Dennis Gardeck for success, enough success that you need coming off the edge?
I hope so. I'm hopeful. I like Zaven Collins a lot. I hope he's the story of the season defensively. Illadre, $4.99. When we get a double-digit wins, we will see who's laughing this year. I think their ceiling is 10 wins. If everything breaks right, this is a team that can win 10 games. I think their floor is about, 7 wins. So they're going to be playing in that sweet spot. But, I mean, it would be great to both stick it to the league, in certain ways and just say, oh, Cardinals this year won 10 games.
29th.
Nobody saw that.
This is the 29th best team in the league. 10 wins. Patrick T, $5 super chat. K1 seems praised for
poised.
Poised. Sorry, poised for a Goff level revenge tour. I'm ready to see the man turn into the Arizona Ranger, bringing respect back to AZ football.
He was repping a Stone Cold Steve Austin's long sleeve when he was draining threes at the Thunder game. Maybe figure out a tie into that. They're both from Texas. Austin's the Texas rattlesnake. What would that make K1? You probably don't understand that reference. You don't even get that, do you? That's not even like that's like a pop culture reference. That's not even wrestling.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know.
I dislike you. Richard.
Are you gonna do the Stone Cold, like when he scores a touchdown? We're gonna hear the breaking glass and the you're gonna pound 2 beers at once.
Is somebody gonna throw Kyler Murray a couple beers? And I've actually moved on from my Baby Yoda pose. I'm actually gonna chug Bud Light or Bud Heavy, a couple cans together in the end zone. The league would probably love that.
That would be unbelievable.
Hey, you guys don't put us on national TV. We can do whatever we want at this 10 o'clock window. K1's cracking beers.
This is so off topic, Johnny, but you just mentioned Yoda real quick, and I have to say that Bo asked me today, real life question.
No.
Is Yoda a Jedi? He asked that to me. He looked me in the eyes and he asked
What was the context? What was the context? I need to know.
He said Yoda's a Jedi, right?
No, it was more like Jedi, right? You know?
It's getting harder and harder to be your friend. Richard, $4.99.
Is it like 90%? I was just like, yeah, Jedi, right? You know?
Have you watched the movies?
Yes.
I don't believe you because there's no way you'd be able to watch the original trilogy and not come away with the fact that he is like the Jedi.
That's what I said. That's what I
Luke
said.
Skywalker is the Jedi.
The mythology, like from a marketing standpoint, yes. The mythology and the lore, Yoda's like the Yoda or Obi-Wan are like the Jedi. Yeah. Get it together. Richard, $4.99.
For us SW casuals.
You are cash for sure.
We're not into the mythology and the
Bo
lore.
and I and Damon are gonna go see Deadpool later this summer, and like I don't need you ruining that either.
I
I need
won't.
you. You need to be
I'm
up
up
on
to
that. I don't
speed
need.
on
I
that.
don't need you asking me X-Men references while we're watching the movie.
I won't.
There's study habits that I need you to take in. You might have a quiz before the movie, so we just feel good about
I
your
will
reviewing.
smoke any quiz you have. But if no, hold on. Now I got the criteria of it. It can't be the mythology and the lore.
No,
It's gotta,
just basic common knowledge. It's the
Yeah.
equivalent of what you just asked for
Right.
Yoda.
Yoda's taught every Jedi essentially.
Is
that
that
we-
true,
that we know.
Johnny?
That
I don't
we
even
know.
think that's true.
I mean, dating. There's like a time period before.
I think it's a very fair
I
statement.
apologize to all 400 people that have to endure this nerd talk.
900. He's 900 years of training Jedi. I think that spans a good amount. Richard, 499. Is it because of the defense? Just taking a hard right turn back into questions about the Cardinals and not the offense while we're getting disrespected. I think it's a combination of Kyler and the defense. PFF thinks they're going to have the worst defense in the NFL. People don't like Kyler Murray because they're jackasses. And then, I think like people who didn't watch the Cardinals probably think Cardinals offensive line is terrible. And I think there are people who probably think like Marvin Harrison Jr. is like the best player on the team right away. And while we think he's like, I think we thought he'd be like top 7. He's like the 7th best player. Like people are like, this is Marvin's team now. Just get rid of the rest of the squad. It's like, no, man, they got good players.
If they can approach if they're a top 20 defense, that would do this team very good, wouldn't it? I mean, if they can, because they're
in the playoffs.
They gave up
if
the
that
second
happens.
most points in the NFL last year. Like it was a cakewalk for opposing offenses far too often last year. And if they are able to get enough stops consistently throughout the game, not like where teams come out after halftime and then impose their will on them, like, and I think that they are set up for way more success defensively than that. They're going to be in a good spot. Like it's going to be, as far as your offense and defense, sure, you want to be like that, right? You want to be even and have, enough talent on both sides of the football. But the as far as the scales, they're a little swayed towards the offense, which is fine. Like I think they'll get back up to speed because there's a lot of trust in Nick Rollis and JG. But I think the personnel is going to be one like where you're going to need guys in PFF. They're just looking at who the personnel is and what they did last year, where you need BJ Ojolari and Zaven Collins to outperform significantly what they did last year.
If I'm going to have a team with a defensive head coach, and I think Gannon is more than that, and one of the two sides is underserved, I would rather have the defense underserved because I trust Gannon, not that he can't do this with the offense, to elevate the defense more. We talked about this all the time. We have this source back to Philadelphia. When Philadelphia was rebuilding on the fly and attempting to make the postseason, Jonathan Gannon sat there and said, put the resources in the offense, go sign players, go draft players, give me what you can on defense. We will make it work. And what they do those first couple of years, Devontae Smith, they added offensive talent with Jalen Hurts, and then it became an offensive team. And then right around that second year, things took off. They started winning games. They made the playoffs at 9 wins. Then the next year they have a historic season. It's the same. They're doing the same thing here. Give me a couple mid-rounders. Give me an Ojolari. Give me a Garrett Williams, right? Give me a Max Melton. Obviously Darius Robinson in the first round, but it's like Paris and Marvin, top 10 offensive picks, right? Kyler Murray's making the most money. Trey McBride, marquee player. Like they're taking care of the offense. It's an offensive league. They'd be foolish not to. I would rather give Gannon
a box to strength of the draft.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like they are set up to surprise defensively because Jonathan Gannon knows that side of the football better than most. Jonathan Gannon took Reed Blankenship and made him a Pro Bowl safety in Philadelphia. Kazir White. All these guys, they got paid by other franchises. We talked about Kenny Moore all offseason. TJ Edwards. These guys weren't high draft picks. They were Gannon prospects. They were molded by Jonathan Gannon, the respect they have for JG. Now, I do think there's one position group that it's tough to do that with, and it's your front four. And that's where the Cardinals said, we got to invest this year.
Yeah.
They got D tackles. They added an edge rusher last year. They're converting Zaven Collins. But the back seven, you just keep throwing stuff at that and let Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rollis figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, you go from having a 6th rounder and a guy from UAB and Starling Thomas compete and play significant snaps for you to a second and third rounder, very toolsy players that they got in Max Melton out of Rutgers and Elijah Jones out of Boston College. Like it's an upgrade at the cornerback spot. You look at what Gannon was able to do in Philadelphia. He was able to resurrect James Bradbury's career after Giants basically cut him. And then Darius Slay came over from Detroit, and Slay was a good player, right? And that's who Baldy says Max Melton reminds him. So, he's got some pieces that are very similar in place here in the desert. He just doesn't have, up front the rotation that I don't know if we'll ever see a frontline defensive front rotation like they had in Philly.
The chat's out of control with the Time Wars. It's just killing me. There's one we can't put on the screen from Harmony, but I lost
yeah,
it.
that one had me cracking up back
That's
here.
one of the greatest ones. All right, there's a lot happening today. I do want to get to the Albert Breer stuff, but before I do, give you an insight as to what happened with the Cards courtship of Marv. But let me court you to the greatest financial institution Arizona has seen. It's Desert Financial, the credit union of the Arizona Cardinals, PHNX Sports, and the Venerable household. Because for more than 84 years, folks, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicating to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and, well, providing financial solutions that make lives better. And again, if you're like, I have a checking account, I'm fine. What about your savings account needs? You need a mortgage, right? You need a loan. How about a credit card, trying to build up credit for a loved one? What about investment options? It's a one-stop shop to improve your financial acumen. Plus, if you're an Arizona sports fan, no better place to do your banking than Desert Financial Credit Union, repping the Red Sea with the Arizona Cardinal Visa debit card. I have it. It's fantastic. All you got to do, sign up for a free checking account online. Go to desertfinancial.com/Cardinals. It takes a matter of minutes to open up the checking account. A couple days after the fact, debit cards in the mail arrives to your home. It's the best financial decision I've made, synced up with Desert Financial. Again, financial solutions, Bo, that make lives better. That's Desert Financial Credit Union.
Speaking of making lives better, how about your cannabis gummy experience? OG's Brands is going to help improve that. Actually, it's the one-stop shop that you're going to be able to find here in the Valley at your local dispensaries. We love OG's. They've got delicious gummies. They've got the fruits. They've got the creams. They've got the RSO, the naturals. How about the sleep edition that's going to help you get to sleep, stay asleep? They got the happy balance. They got so many different options for you, so many delicious gummies that they take so much time and put so much focus into making it a great experience for you out there. Check them out. Check out their big OGs as well. Those are giant 100 milligrams of THC slices of OGs that are on 10 perforated slices. It's unreal what you can find with our friends over at OGs. Check them out for yourself. OGsBrands.com. That's OGsBrands.com. Find them on your socials as well. They've got unbelievable options that you're not going to want to miss out on. Got to be 21 years or older, but of course, as I mentioned, find them in your local dispensary. OG's Brands, OGsBrands.com.
Got a couple super chats. Are we caught up on super chats, Damon Dog?
I think so. I think we are caught up.
Good stuff. Because I want to get everybody caught up. Albert Breer had a really good comment. First of all, give shout out to Breer, who's been money this offseason. And he clearly has ties to the Ohio State program, alma mater, alumni, and then Austin Ford, his ties back to New England. Breer had some interesting insight as it relates to the Arizona Cardinals and their courtship with Marvin Harrison Jr. that we've known started last offseason. The Cardinals viewed Marvin Harrison Jr. at C.J. Stroud's pro day at Ohio State because sources told Breer, yeah, if you don't do it now, you probably aren't going to get a chance to do it again, which is pretty nuts. But Damon, let's get to Breer's comments here on the Cardinals and MHJ. This is via SI. Austin Ford and Coach Gannon spent 18 minutes with him at the NFL Combine, wanted to get to know him. What they learned was, first and foremost, he wasn't loud or boisterous or seeking attention like a lot of guys in his position. They also saw how detailed of a plan he had for everything football and how handling of the pre-draft process was just an example of that. This is the money quote. He asked if the Cardinals needed to see anything at his pro day. They said, nope, we're good. How about that?
You love to see a good plan work to perfection, right? carries on here with Breer, Johnny.
Yeah, the Cardinals wanted to mimic, this is for Marvin's top 30 visit, what an in-season Wednesday would look like for Harrison, minus the on-field stuff. Over the course of a 6-hour day here in Tempe, he met with position coaches, offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, and JG to go through an install. Then he met with sports science folks and trainers before coming back to the coaches at the end of the day to be tested on the aforementioned install. He aced the process. And then, of course, Ford confirmed on the Dave Pash podcast, Bo, that they felt comfortable the minute he left, taking him 4th overall. So, I mean, we make a lot of noise about how disappointed we were we didn't get to chat with him at the Combine. It felt like this was outside of, and Breer does mention this, when Drake May was taken 3rd overall, the trade propositions were gone.
Mm-hmm.
They would have entertained it, certainly. If Drake May made it to 4, Breer says there's a chance that it would have been a trade for the Cardinals. When that was dead and buried, MHJ was a Cardinal.
Right. There was just the biggest threat was some team overwhelming the Cardinals with an asking price or a trade package that they couldn't decline. Right. With Austin Fort using the analogy of he loves his home and he wants to put roots down with his family. But if somebody's going to knock on his door and blow him away with a huge offer, he's going to take it. Right. But they are fully content with the prospect that is Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's the perfect mix and marriage of, just natural given ability with work ethic. And man, did they kind of luck out into that spot already? I mean, the fact that there were 3 quarterbacks that were good enough to go in front of them and that they were going to get the consensus best player in the draft at 4th overall. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable. And you start to see it, and we'll see more of him once he hits the playing field with the rest of his teammates after the rookie mini camp we saw on Friday and over the weekend. But man, you love to see this process because how, I guess, not vulnerable it is, but how tight they had to play it to their vest on something that just seems like it's a sure thing. Like when we have conversations about the draft, you saw how protective and how sometimes irate this fan base would get if you would even suggest that they didn't hold the line and draft Marvin.
Why? We never experienced that. That never happened to this show. We were always in good standings with the hold the line folks.
Right.
We see in the chat, Darren saying Odunze already having issues. Well, Rome, a little hammy. And again, hopefully Rome's good to go. But Rome at the end of the day hasn't been able to participate as much as they would have hoped during rookie minicamp. And then, this is a little off topic, Jerzon Johnny Newton had foot surgery, and now he's got an issue with the other foot. So that gives us kind of some insight. Really disappointing for Jerzon. Like, there it is. That's why they didn't take him. Jerzon Newton not available. But it's not supposed to be this easy. It was never this easy for Steve Keim. Sometimes if you're Austin Ford, like, he's a smart dude. He had foresight to take Paris last year. Sometimes you just get lucky where it's like, hey, we're picking 4th. I don't know if he's going to be available. 3 QBs go ahead of us. What are we doing here? That was always our argument.
I'm sorry, man. The previous regime is not playing this as well as the current. First off, like when you have a slam dunk prospect, I don't think the organization would have done its due diligence like the Cardinals did, as Breer pointed out.
That's fair.
There's no way. Like Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim probably had no idea what their normal Wednesday was going to look like any given season. They would just fly by the seat of their pants. So the fact that they had that set up, that's on brand for JG and Monty Osfort and the entire coaching staff to be that dialed into their process this far out and to kind of get insight on what any given player is going to look like. I think that's really valuable because you can see the tape. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. on tape tells you what you feel he's going to be. He's going to be a star in this league, right? He has all the playmaking ability and stuff, but what's he going to look like as far as the guy behind the scenes that's going to prepare to perform on Sundays? And that's what we find out about all these Keim picks before is they weren't guys that had a rock solid process that were putting themselves in a position for success on game days.
Well, this team, even before Steve Keim with Rod Graves, like they had questions. There were too many first-round picks that you question whether or not they love football. Like, I mean, Michael Floyd in 2012 didn't fail because of on-field product. He failed because of off the field. We say the same thing about, Isaiah Simmons. There were concerns about how much he loved football. Robert Kimdiche, did he love football? Like, These were premium picks that the franchise was spending money on. And then everything else was tweener linebackers, right? Guys who couldn't play. It's like, finally, the Cardinals have married an approach of, hey, here's a really high-level human being that loves football. Oh, and they play a premium position. We're going to marry that together. Paris, left tackle, loves football. Check. Marvin, generational, loves football. Good to go. Just so happen to come from the same university. But, I mean, like, the draft is hard, and the Cardinals would just make it under Keim exponentially more difficult than it needed to be. So our biggest argument throughout the course of this entire offseason with the trade down speculation that we would do every day was, don't you just feel like you're just buying yourself more time as a GM to take the safe pick that everybody wants, that checks all the boxes, instead of, there is some risk with trading down. Quinyon Mitchell at 12 or 13 is what we would always talk about. But you look at the players that went there. It's just, for Austin Ford, it was not worth it. And I commend him for understanding that the week of the draft and making Marvin the pick, because as much as we wanted it to happen and the odds with BetMGM shifted that day when we were heading over to Gila River, we didn't feel comfortable about it until it was announced.
Yeah. Well, the Harrison Jr. camp felt pretty comfortable with it. Like when we talked to Senior and they asked him about the pre-draft process and how unique it was and opting out from most of the I guess the drills and the press conference at the combine and the pro day was in January. They just kind of did the math, right? They looked at the teams, they looked at the situations, and they forecasted 3 quarterbacks, and then the best they could do is 4. So why, go forward with some of the whole rigmarole. And then also Marvin Harrison Jr. trying to stay and keep his body in a good enough shape to where he doesn't hit that rookie wall. He mentioned that as part of the process as well. And his main focus is whichever team selected him, he wanted to be in top shape for that. So it really is interesting. And it's very reminiscent to me, at least. And I know it's completely different scenarios, but Monty Ossenfort, the offseason before he becomes GM, that he knew he was going to get into some interviews, and it's important to have a short list as far as head coaching candidates and to identify some up-and-comers. And he identified Jonathan Gannon in the summer of 2022 before hiring him in January or February of 2023.
Isn't that right?
I don't think there's any witches in.
Hardy.
Bruh.
What do I sound like?
Connor, you sound like this. The moth jumps into the flame. Oh, no. You sound like this. Like, the fucking moth is jumping in the flame and whatnot.
Also, these games are so Ludwig-centric.
No, see, here's the thing. You would think they are, but I'm like fake Ludwig compared to a Qual who's a master of these games.
Yeah, 12's good. Did you guess it right?
I've got 100 hours on course to give me again.
Wait, 100 hours on that.
Because I'm speedrunning the game.
Speedrunning? I like the wheel deciding too.
The wheel.
I'm ready to see you spin this.
Come on, it's me. It's me. It's me.
Tell
It's
it.
me. Come on.
Bro, you greased that wheel.
Give me Connor.
That did go a long distance if it stopped.
Give me the British guy. Give me the British guy.
Me?
Come on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, just
Wow.
yes.
The 2 Brits, let's go. All right, okay, we got the British duo.
I can't lose against Great Britain against my
Okay, wait, F12?
That's got like a Twitter blue check mark on this game. What's up with that?
He's verified?
Verified? I
Let's
he's
see it.
verified. No. Gamers, I have an extremely important announcement to make. This video is sponsored by AFK Journey. I need you to prepare yourself for the ultimate RPG experience on iOS, Android, and PC. AFK Journey will launch the debut Canvas Art World. We're not in Russia.
Here, Romania.
You did UK, I'll do Ireland. Oh, you did it in London? Oh, no, wait, it's still going in London.
But I'm telling you, both of them don't think this is the UK, okay? I'm telling you, neither one of them think it.
Dude!
Wait, no!
They did! London! Okay, I see. Is that Hindi? Listen, Bangladesh.
No, wait,
I'm gonna do Bangladesh, you do India.
Wait, we're talking about music.
Wait, it's Tamil, right? So is it Sri Lanka?
Wait, Sri Lanka?
Bologna.
Wait, we good? We good? Yes! You're actually good. Oh my god,
It's best of 3, it's best of 3 though. It's best of 3. We threw the UK one so bad.
It looks Spanish to me.
Hotel
Like,
Bikini? Yeah, we're in Spain. We're in Italy. Road sign. Roma. Roma's up ahead, so if we're going towards Roma, we're near Rome somewhere.
Dude, you're insane at GeoGuess. Oh Christ, actually,
Let's go like somewhere near Rome.
Okay, I mean, this is the starting one, right? So
Yeah. Oh, did we win?
Oh, we won this.
We did in the same place. It's gotta be America somewhere or Canada. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Maybe in Alaska, bro. The mountains are so snowy. It could be Colorado area. I'm gonna do like around Montana, I think.
I'll do like here then.
That is a terrible yes. That's a metropolitan area.
I know. Oh, sorry, we won.
Yeah, wow. It's like, Germany, how's he doing these? Okay.
Okay, oh my god, okay, these ones.
Hindi?
Okay.
Hindi? Middle America.
Has...
Can you click Pakistan? I'll do North India.
Done.
Oh
my god, you're insane, you're actually insane.
Yo, I'm on fire today.
Oh, dude, this is the UK.
This is the UK. This is the UK. I think this is gonna be like middle UK, 100%.
You reckon like Manchester Leeds kind of vibe?
Yeah, run it.
Okay, I'm gonna go right there.
No, I'm gonna go middle, South Wales. You're right. Oh, Manchester. That was such a good guess.
Chip it away, Connor. Chip it away.
We are. Dude, if we get one big L there, it's all over. Okay. It's Arabic. Okay, we're probably in like. If I had to guess right now, it's like Egypt or somewhere.
Oh wait, no, yeah. Oh shoot. Wait, maybe I just go with Egypt. This is definitely Egyptian. Oh shit, that's bad. That's really bad.
Oh! He must have saw something that gave it completely away. This is Japan. At least I can find out where it is. Because it could be anywhere. He just locked in someone in Japan. Do you around Tokyo?
I didn't do bang in Tokyo, I did like kind of like the outskirts of it. Oh, that's fine, that's good. We can both.
Dude, if I had more time, I could figure out it was Kyushu. Okay, we're in Europe because they're driving on the right side of the road. We are on Hanover. In 1000. Okay, we're in Germany and Hanover. Hanover's north. Right, I've got it. I've locked in.
Okay, I'll just go there. Okay. Oh my god, Connor, you're insane.
Come on, we gotta beat these guys. Fabrica. Okay, the cocaine. What? Maybe just go Mexico. I'll go South America. I'll go like near.
Okay. I'll go Mexico.
Oh no!
Was that double?
Yes!
One.
No, that's so far.
I hope I made you proud, Connor, on the Japan guess.
Dude, I was so annoyed. I knew you guys were gonna lock it in right away. If I had more time, I could figure out where I was in Japan.
I am cooling down from the amount of stress I felt from this game. This game is the most stressful game I've ever played in my entire life. Like,
This is a tough one. We're in the middle of the outskirts. Oh, this is not helpful.
This isn't. Okay, South America for sure.
Well, if you want to try and like really come up, we can just lock in a South American guess right now.
I'll go like Argentina. I'm gonna go like there. Now they're both
I'm
panicking.
gonna go for a crazy guess. I'm gonna go right at the bottom. I'm gonna go for a crazy one. You for Brazil?
Oh! Okay, that's fine. It's okay. Look, okay.
Nice, Argentina. Nice guess. Isn't that? That's not Spanish, right? That's
I actually, that's what I was gonna ask you. I don't.
That's not Spanish. That's not Spanish. Wait, there's flags here. Wait, we're in Indonesia. Let's.
Okay, they're panicking.
Yeah, they don't know. Oh, Brazil! They keep saying Brazil. Brazil.
Okay, Slovakia. On the side of the lamppost, that's the Slovakian colors, right?
It's also French. It's also Russian.
Oh no, okay. It actually is one of those. I've seen the language. It looks Russian to me.
Yeah, that's Cyrillic.
Like super Russian.
Yeah, this is Russian.
I imagine we all won in the same place. Oh wait, I think that's it. That's double. Yeah, we won.
Yeah.
Hey, Connor, that was a flawless victory.
Gosh, dog. Oh, this is so British. Holy shit.
Oh no, it is. It's literally. Wait, Metrolink.
Yeah, MOT testing. Yeah, British. It's British.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay.
Yeah, we're in North England. We're in North England for sure.
Transfer Manchester. Wait, transfer to Manchester.
Home field advantage. Yeah, that's so unfair. I literally been on the Metro League. I mean, like. Oh, dude, they got cooked.
No, only 98 though. They actually did a really good job.
They got Manchester's crazy. All right, there's a German Beetle car. We're in Argentina.
It's Mexico. It is a Mexican flag.
Okay.
This is it.
Oh shit, it was straight up Mexico City.
Oh my god, what? Bro, they're crazy.
That's a weird ass sign. I've never seen a sign like that in my life.
Oh shit.
They figured out. There's something around. There's gonna be something around here that's giving it away.
But there's a language and it looks like maybe Greek.
I think.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
It's Romanian, right?
Okay.
Wait, we win?
Let's go. Wait, 3-1.
Yo! The Romanian guess! Holy shit, GG's.
shut up, you play geoguessr all the time.
I don't. How did you guys get the Mexico City one so well?
Oh, I went to Cancun once, so.
Oh, okay, that would help. Yeah.
Bro, the language barrier is so hard.
Why is it complaining so much? Like he's not winning.
I'm not complaining.
Complaining.
I'm having fun.
Bro, he's complaining. Bro.
What the fuck? I was explaining you melee and you keep... What the fuck? I'm just having my time.
In this game, if we're really not sure, we should just lifeline immediately.
Oh, yeah.
There's no point holding on to them. It doesn't do us any good.
How high are people gonna get?
7, 8. Longest dog. He's never even beaten this game. Never mind.
A miserly person. What the hell does that mean? These are all kind of similar.
It's penny pincher. Yeah, penny pincher. No one's literally losing. It's penny pincher. I'll lock it in so you don't have to think about it. I'll lock it in for you so you don't have to think.
What is cafe?
Why is it French? Why do they have to be French? Why? 50-50, we have the audience and we have this one. This is question 2, Alan.
I guess do we only have one attempt at this, right? And it's just done.
No, so if we this up, we get another round.
Oh, okay, maybe we just go D then.
Coffee bean bread? I've never heard of that. I think it could be C. Honestly, I've never heard of a coffee bean thing. I would have known that. I would have eaten that all the time. Yes!
You're insane! You're actually insane.
Bro, my heart rate was so high for no damn reason.
Oh my god.
Discreet.
That's easy.
Yeah, discreet to avoid attention.
Oh, it's a place to avoid attention. Yeah. We're winning $1 million, Connor. We're doing it. $1 million.
What? It's bad. It's bad.
It's because we're doing the US one, Connor. I'm telling you, this is
yeah, it's got a US, bro.
Right now.
That's gonna be so sad now. We had this in the bag.
Hey, I can probably name you like 2 US presidents. So this is all you, Connor.
I'm pretty confident on this. I think it's Washington.
Are you sure you don't want to use one of the things?
I'm confident. I think it's Washington. Will you trust me, Alan? Please, please. I think it's Washington. I'm pretty sure it's Washington. We're on question 3. We don't want the distance down. We're not using them right now. It's Washington. It's Washington, baby. Come on. Please. Give us citizenship now.
$300.
Let's go, baby.
Let's freaking go. What the hell are these questions?
This is coffee that's been shit out. I had it before. It's delicious. It is the most expensive as well, but it's expensive. It's been shit out. If it's not this, I'm actually gonna like. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. I would actually like, hey, we have to do it again. So that's actually bullshit. What's the last time I'm punching at Rayba McIntyre? Dude, I have no idea. I don't know any country.
I don't think it's McDonald's because I just think they're just throwing it in because of the MCs.
Because you think it's AOD.
McCutcheon doesn't even sound real.
Doesn't sound like a name.
You know what? Do 50-50.
If AOD left, we'll go for them. Please don't take both.
There's no way they do that.
Let's just go A. I don't want to think about it.
Okay, go A.
Oh my!
Yes!
Give me the question, please.
What doesn't get transformed by the fairy godmother to help Cinderella get to the ball?
All you, buddy.
Oh shit. Okay, I don't know Cinderella.
If you're not confident, I have to do the lifeline. I don't feel confident enough to do this. So I think we lifeline it.
Yeah, do it. So we've got AK.
I don't know Cinderella. You gotta help me out. Please be a manga.
Oh shit. Wait, Diane Chambers.
That's a movie. Cheers is a sitcom.
Don't know Designing Women. Home Improvement. That's the only one I know. I don't.
It's gonna be Cheers, right? None of the other ones are even sitcoms. Home Improvement is a sitcom, right? Wait, that's that show. It's like
Austral.
Okay, I might be dumb.
I haven't even heard that word before.
Is it Southern?
That's the only one that is different from the others in some regards.
Listen, if you want to go Southern, because I think we don't know.
Okay, go Southern. I think the other 3 that all are all Summers. I think have to. Oh shit! What?
We're boned.
Oh no.
It's BOD, I think.
I feel like Shrewsbury's very small. Well, hey, not trying to from Shrewsbury. Clarify.
You're from Shrewsbury. I don't know shit. I'm with you. Shrewsbury. Let's go Salisbury. Let's do it.
Shrewsbury.
They don't know shit. It's too northern. Yo! Get away!
Yes!
Bro, we're on fire. We're on fire. Which means it's 3 witches.
Okay,
it's Disney, right? Let's go Disney.
Well, so on the stone, I'm thinking like King
Arthur.
Arthur.
There's witches in that, right?
I don't think there's any witches in King Arthur.
They're all Welsh names. I don't know why they're Welsh names. Or Ddydd, or Wen, or Goch, which means black, white, red.
Wait, one of them has the word black in?
Yeah, or Ddydd is black. Black witch.
Then go with the Black Cauldron. Surely, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Holy! No way! Bro, there's ain't no way, bro. I'm getting my Slumdog Millionaire moment right now. Arthur Schnitzler's book, Dream Story.
Love story, eyes wide shut, ask, scream. It can't be scream.
It's probably not COD, right? It can't be.
Oh, wait, hang on. Dream, right? Dream, you're asleep, eyes wide shut. Your eyes are shut.
I'm down to do it. I don't know.
Okay, there's logic.
There's no way. No fucking way, Alan!
There's
Alan,
absolutely no
that's
way.
insane! Alan, this is...
Actually, we're good for $1 million. Oh no, hey, don't worry about it. I tell you what I said.
Wait, if it's a Colossus of Rhodes, that could be like Greek mythology or something. Lightning strike would be
That's
like...
what I'm thinking. We're lightning strike.
It's cool, it's swag. If it's cool. It's cool. Let's go be.
This is Colossus. No!
Hey, we gave it a good run. Wait, we earned 200k. We're on question 13. Is that right? Holy...
Honestly, we went crazy. We didn't win.
No! We failed on 14!
Well, they're on 15.
What? I can't believe we got to question 14 and we're third.
My questions are so easy in French.
What is it like? What is baguette?
What the racist?
What is un croissant?
What are the questions in the UK when the Brexit happens?
And you guys good at this game?
Oh, I'm amazing at this game. This is my game. Let me tell you that.
All right, let's find out.
This is my
shit,
game.
actually.
What the? Oh yeah. So someone who's gonna go first, then guys. Who's gonna be the guinea pig? Oh,
I just realized this is a hole-in-one map. This is a hole-in temple in one. All of these hole-in-ones.
I mean, it's not a hole one because then you got into. Go to the left and then jump. Do a 1 bar and jump.
oh yeah, keep going. You're going crazy, man.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh shit, brother. Let's go.
Alright, Slane, hold up, Slane.
No, it's a trap.
Yes.
Take away.
What the? Guys, I'm moving back. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm in.
Alright, thank you. I got 3. I got 3.
I feel like
Nice,
I'm
I see.
Shit, that would have been 1 if I timed that correctly. Sorry.
That's okay. How are you doing, Connor?
3. You?
Guy 3 as well. Ooh, hold on 3 of them.
What
Yeah,
the?
so you
What's
fail
that?
one more time would be great if possible.
I'm the greatest. Never mind.
You fail one more time.
No!
That's right.
No, I'm stuck going!
No. Perfect. Oh, Connor!
I had to bounce there.
This it?
Oh my God, Connor, no.
Why didn't let me go in? I'm so sorry, Alan. Alan, I didn't. I'm so sorry, Alan.
Oh no!
Oh, we're 12! We're so back, Alan. Alan, we're so back.
We're good. Holy shit.
I think it's an easy jump.
I don't think you can make that.
No, I got tested for you guys.
Oh, I'm stupid as
No, how did I lose my matchup? Dude, I'm actually trolling. I'm so sorry. Alan.
Wait, what? Where are you?
I'm trolling.
Oh, Connor!
God, that's too much.
Connor! Oh no! Connor!
What? I lose my match with the water! Last row. I've gone crazy with it.
I appreciate you
What?
all for thinking of me.
Okay, that's my bad. I'm not doing too good anymore.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh shit. Did you get in?
Damn. I got in 2.
I'm trolling. I'm actually trolling!
Alan, chill. Where are you?
Okay, maybe I just
Okay.
Okay, Jesus Christ,
Dude, everyone got hole in one though. That's not good. I'm last. Okay. It's been a rough few courses for me. I'm gonna lie.
Wait, what? What? Okay, I see the vision. This is kind of crazy though. I see the vision, but
Easy.
wait, Connor?
Hole in one, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Are you all going 2? No!
We all got a hole one. You're popping off, Celine.
I'm popping off! Dude, I'm so pumped for that.
Wait, no, maybe not this one. I got no other cameras left. Oh, okay, I followed that. I do follow that. Wait, that was kind of. I popped off.
Oh, I trolled so hard for our team. I'm so sorry. Ellen?
Now we need to hold on the screen. So, Ludwig.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go back in my bod because it's YouTube. I can rewind.
I can do that on Twitch.
It's time.
I've beaten this game before, but that was with checkpoints.
So
Yeah.
even without checkpoints, like I've.
Okay, so you can see the countdown, right?
Yeah, I can see the countdown. I can see everything.
So we gotta jump, right? So we do, ready? Like that, and then again. Basically, we both need to jump at the same time. Alright, let me anchor. Okay, now you can go. So you want to swing, and then I want to, like, at the apex, I want to let go of you. Ready?
And
Go.
no.
Go.
Nice. Okay.
When you're anchored, when you hold down, you can also pull while anchored. I'm gonna anchor right at the edge. You have to do a swing. Alright, do a big swing. Do you want to do a full circle like that?
You want to do a circle like there?
Full circle, yeah, like that. It's perfect. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, sorry.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Sorry, stop. We're gonna hang. Ready? Okay, shit. I'm gonna throw you at the apex. Alright.
Okay, yep.
Okay,
No!
anchor, pull.
That was crazy.
So whenever we do a big jump like that, you have to hold like down immediately. Okay, let's jump up. I'll jump first. No, I do it. Okay.
3, yep.
Oh shit. Okay, go. Swing. And you can just swing, and once you get on it, you can just sit on it. There you go. Right, anchor and pull me up.
Okay. Nice. And then we're
Yeah,
gonna go.
I think.
Yeah, and you grab the wall, so it's right, and then up to the wall on the left. Go,
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's close.
And then we jump together. You grab.
Ooh, no! That's fine. We'll get back in no time. Where are you going? Which way are you jumping?
I looked at your character.
Huge.
Okay, this we have massive swing right here. Okay, done it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm here. I'm good. I got you. Sorry. What's the highest distance you got to that, Chad? Keep track of that. This is tough. Wait, hold on. Wait. Don't worry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so what we have to do is I have to grab it, and then so both of us should grab it, because if either of us get it, we hold on, right? Because one of us might miss. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect, I think. Let me go a little bit.
So hard to see.
Okay, good.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going.
Anchor.
Oh!
Anchor, pull me up.
Oh shit!
Okay, we gotta jump and hold on to the wall again.
Oh,
The
the
wall.
one above. Okay, yeah. Okay, ready?
Okay, nice. Let go, I'll swing.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Nice, and you can just get on this easily. Yeah, there you go. And anchor, pull me up. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay. Nice, huge.
Oof, me, this is tough. It's a perfect jump here.
Perfect.
Nice. Wait, actually, we need to do this anyway.
Yeah. Have you loosened me? That's full work, right?
I think it's full. Yeah, it's full.
Okay. Nice!
That's what I'm talking about!
We should go up for the height.
I think you're up. We got 10 seconds left. We can get something
10 seconds? Oh shit. Okay, so we're doing
shit.
Oh god.
Alright, I think we're done, but I just want to see what we can do here.
Going crazy.
Bro, we're so nuts, dude. I know, but we're just so crazy with it. We just want to keep going. 76, boys.
Oh, they got the 76.
Wait, Connor, did we win that one?
Yeah, we won, I think.
Holy shit, let's go!
Thank you. We needed something. We did one win.
We needed it, man, for the mental.
It's now up to Infinite Crafts for the final.
Is this a browser game, by the way? I've actually never played
Yeah, I've never played this game in my life. What are we trying to craft?
You have to come up with 2 Pokemon that are of different types.
Alright, let's do it.
Connor, I know how to play this game.
Bro, we need a plant and plant, tree and tree, forest and forest, jungle and jungle. Let's just keep doing it.
How do you have the words branching to that word then? Do you keep stacking words or do they eventually like connect? Like this is the
They can connect. They can connect. That's tsunami. That could be good. I don't know. I'm gonna try and just spam and figure it out.
Dude, I'm so close. How do I get to Japan?
Earth continent. Pangea. I got Pangea. Continent. Oh, look at Hawaii. I got Hawaii. I'm doing it. Dragon continent. Europe. What? Europe plus surfing. Eurovision. What? Huh?
What are you like? I got Beyond.
I got Godzilla. Wait, this is so good. Godzilla plus continent. Japan. Surely.
That's huge.
Surely. I got Japan. Okay, Japan.
Yes.
Wait, let's try Godzilla plus Japan. Tokyo.
Godzilla plus fire.
Godzilla plus fire. Let's try
I
that.
think maybe Charizard might come up.
Volcano. Godzilla's so close. It's gotta be.
Brother, this is insane.
Got Aquaman.
Yeah, we can cope
Oh,
with
got
some
anime.
there.
Aquaman plus Japan. I got anime. Wait. That's awesome. Okay.
Like,
Go
Ant-Man,
otaku.
then.
Anime plus otaku. We plus
And then I go
what
Tokyo
next monster?
Ant-Man.
No, otaku plus dragon maybe. Anime plus dragon. Dragon Ball plus.
Is there any food? Maybe go Poke, like
Dragon Ball Z.
Pokeball kind of thing.
Dragon Ball Z.
Uh,
Goku. I got Goku. Anime plus Loch Ness monster.
Golem. Wait, Golem.
Oh, I got Pokemon. I'll do one Pokemon. Squirrel. I got Squirrel. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Wait, how do you spell Golem as in the Pokemon? Because then I've got it.
Does that count? I don't know if that counts. Oh, he's loaded done. Oh my god, they're done.
Wait, you're finished?
But fellas, we finished 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, because you sweat this game out.
You're actually deranged.
He's played this game. He's made like 19 YouTube videos about this game.
Rigged.
Yeah. You know what's more rigged than this? The last time I did this 2v2, weren't we supposed to get like a prize money? How many months have been?
Guys, let's focus on here and now.
That was a 50K tournament. I've never heard of money ever again.
Crazy, wow.
It's never been brought up. Where's my money, Ludwig?
Okay, I have a hard on for our friendship, and that's what we
That's my money, Ludwig.
Did you actually fill out the form though? Because there was a form you need to fill out your payment information.
Wait, I've never sent a form.
It was in the Discord, yes. It was
What the form?
It was in the Discord. What do you think? What do you expect?
I mean, let me know. Hey, we got you.
Not to lose my money. We deleted Discord.
You're telling me this one out? So the money's just gone now. You just
We had a 24 minute.
Oh, what was it? Was it like, did I have to decipher the Rosetta Stone as well to get my money? You also owe me $8,000 for the 2v2, I think, as well.
You gotta fill out the thing, guys. I'm not the goddamn manager.
Well, I don't know where it is. Send it again.
He's getting go to angry now, guys.
Remember 2 seconds and Ludwig was a positive person? I miss those days.
Hey, thanks for getting everybody. It was fun.
Thanks for the games.
Thanks for the game.
Thank you. A lot of fun, guys. Thank you. All right, GG's, guys. GG's. This is the face of a scammer chat. We get posters to this guy. Beware of scammer. Absolute scammery.
Don't forget to subscribe right now, or this Akenu lookalike will haunt you. That's it. Goodbye.
With the boys, I don't have time to do this.
We could be playing JRPGs.
We could be doing this while playing JRPGs.
Yeah, basically, I go on a flight and I'm recording 2 podcast episodes. And I'm gonna have a meeting, and at the same amount of time, I could have done like 1 mission in Final Fantasy VII. You know what I mean?
I still need to play Final Fantasy
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you
it's
played
actually
Rebirth?
unhinged.
Yeah, I finished it. I 100% it actually.
Oh my god,
Is it
that must have
good?
been hell. Because I heard how much side shit there was to doing that.
Yeah, that's the okay. So the reason why I think the remake was probably better than Rebirth is because like I think they did too much padding out in Rebirth with a lot of like side
Rebirth's
quest
the
stuff.
first one, right?
Remake
Rebirth's
is the first one.
Oh, so you think the first one's better?
I think the first one's better than the second one.
Do you think?
That is not the first time a person said that.
Yeah, I think most people who play both games can agree that the second one, I mean, you know, the story points, like the main story points in Rebirth are like great, you know, like, great Final Fantasy storytelling, and like the cinematics are fucking insane. But like they put in so much side stuff that at the end of the day is not necessary at all for the most part to actually complete the game and have an enjoyable time. But the one side thing that they did add to Rebirth, which I thought at first I was like, this is dumb as shit, but then by the end of it I was like, I'm obsessed. Is they created a card game called Queen's Blood.
Okay.
And it's like it's this really interesting like system where like I'm sure Square Enix is probably eventually going to turn into like an actual physical like TCG. Because everyone who played it in Rebirth was just like at first they were like, what is this shit? This isn't fighting monsters and leveling up. But then by the end of it, everyone was like, all right, I gotta optimize my deck and like beat these side characters to get the better cards. And shit like that. Like it basically turned like kind of Yu-Gi-Oh-esque into it. Yeah, like after like it took me about maybe 80, 90 hours to 100% it. But the first like
that's it. I've heard people put like 120 hours.
Oh, but like I like min-maxed that shit like crazy. Like I was like I want 100%, but I don't want to spend like 200 hours doing this because I have other games to play and other shit to do. So I was just like min-maxing that shit by looking it up. And also I just got really fucking good at Queen's Blood. Where I'm just like,
I beat you.
It's like, no, I win. Yeah, but that side quest, the Queen's Blood shit was so good. But then there are other ones that were just like whatever, like, you know, just fucking like there was a segment where it's like every town you went to there was a piano there and like you had to get Tifa to like do basically like a rhythm game type of thing to like play every song in the game and stuff.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, it was just like I'll just do it just because I'm already this far in.
Is the story completely different now? Is the point of this game?
Yeah, story segments are different. I don't want to give too much away, obviously, but it is
completely
not
different or reworked because those are like 2 different things.
So because in the first one they kind of went off course.
Yeah, it's basically I think I saw somewhere that like Nomura was like it's set in a different timeline.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, where it's like it's just as canon as the original, but it's just in a different timeline. And I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, you're really trying to save your ass right here.
Because it's just as canon. How do you have your fucking cake and eat it?
Yeah, but this is Nomura. He doesn't know what canon means.
True.
But no, it was good, and I'm looking forward to the third game when it comes out.
Do you think it
2027.
holds up to the original? Or do you think it's kind of just a different part of the
But I have a really soft spot for the original, obviously, because I grew up with it. But if you've never played the original 7, I think the remakes is still a great experience. Like all the best parts about like the cast of characters and everything is like I think just as good and just as well explored as the original. But you don't get like that magic of the original. But then again, it's hard to like convince like you know a 15-year-old kid today who's like used to like god tier graphics in video games to go back to the fucking egg beater hand cloud in PS1 graphics, right? Like it's difficult. So like I think they did a good move on the remakes. And apparently they're remaking 9 as well, from what I heard.
I think it's been like rumored for ages, and 10 has been rumored.
Yeah, and 10, but 10's been remade remastered so many times.
Remasters. I mean, that means they just run it through like a thing that goes like.
They just run it through like an AI filter that upscales it.
I mean, obviously all of them do that. Well, actually, but like a lot of the times they're just like smooth.
Also, the original 10 and 10 2 still look amazing to this day.
Yeah,
they look great.
Yeah. It sucks because then now I played 2 Final Fantasies and Chrono Trigger and I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to play the other Final Fantasies that I want to play.
What's the next one you want to play? 10?
I'm kind of torn between either 9, 10, or 6.
Yeah.
Everyone's like 6 is the greatest of all time, but I know that people just aren't going to be into 6 as much as they will be 10.
If you're going to stream it, 6 might be difficult. Yeah. I think 6 is my favorite, but
I mean, Chrono Trigger, like I think
that's just the perfect, I think, length, honestly, like JRPG like Chrono Trigger. It's like
6 is like 10.
6 is like probably an average playthrough would be like 80 hours. It's a long game.
Is that long?
It's like 70 hours.
No, it's not. I gotta look at that. I always use how long to beat, and it's pretty accurate actually. How long to beat.com.
Yeah, how long to beat.com.
That's how I normally find my streams at.
What does how long to beat.com say about 6?
Yeah, because like if a game is like 20 hours, that's a completely different commitment to me than a 12 hour game. That means now I have to like do 2 separate streams. But like I'm streaming, so I pay attention to this stuff. But Chrono Trigger, when I was playing like 8 and 7, I had a really good viewership. When I was playing Chrono Trigger, it was a lot less. I think a lot of people were like less into it.
I mean, like it's hard. It's hard to get people to watch JRPGs or just like.
I think there's a way to do it. I think like.
Okay, how long to beat is saying main story, not including side quests, is 34 hours.
That's pretty good.
That doesn't seem right.
Like what I've noticed about playing like story-based games is that the game better be an absolute classic that everyone has to
you can't play some like brand new JRPG that like is kind of not like the biggest shit.
Yeah. Like even Persona, I don't think is big enough for brands to like stream. Like pretty much it's just Final Fantasy, you know, that I can think of actually pulling in like view numbers.
I mean, for me it's great. I just get to like play a game that I'm kind of trying to get into, and it's like, all right, I think it's cool work. But I actually just want to play Chrono Trigger. I want to just hang out and play Chrono Trigger for 9 hours.
I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
Dude, I mean, how can I not? I think if you didn't enjoy Chrono Trigger, you got a dent in your head. Honestly, I mean, it's like so good. How did you not? Yeah, I really loved it. I've got to find more games to play.
Earthbound, bro. Play Earthbound.
Who's gonna know what?
I'm replaying
This is the problem.
Twitch
The more
right
JRPGs I play, the more weird people come into my comments being like, "You gotta play this JRPG."
Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon.
I did that once. I made my mistake. I 100% that, by the way.
Play Dragon Quest 11.
No. You're worse than them now.
That's good though.
I'm not doing anything.
It's so good.
I'm not doing this.
You should try a Tales game.
Not doing that. I'm not doing that. I paid.
Yeah, not Trails.
I paid
Trails.
Berseria, whatever it's called.
Berseria,
Yeah,
that's the
Berseria
shit.
sucks.
Did I get the title right?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Berseria.
Berseria
That's the one
sucks.
with the edgy.
What are we great for 15 hours in the game? Fucking pass it
Berseria,
down.
That's the one with the edgy chick, right?
Berseria is the
Yeah.
upcoming kill of Tales games. It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as like Zesteria, but it's not the highlight
No,
of the
You
series.
can blame my German friend who told me to play that one, and I kind of got bored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
It is
finish
fun.
Berseria.
I remember I had fun with it, but you know when you like, there was nothing wrong with it, but when I turned off the game, went to bed, there was nothing in my brain that was like, boot it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nothing stuck with you.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't like bored playing it, right? But there's nothing that made me think that I have to play this.
I actually, do you know the only reason I finished that game?
What?
Is because I streamed that game. And this was before I had like a stream.
That's why I hate streaming games. They're super long. So like, what if I do one stream? All people are gonna ask me is when I'm gonna finish it. Even though like half of you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But like 10 people are like, hey, when are you finishing Tales of Berseria? When are you finishing that? When are you finishing that? I'm not. It sucked. Okay, it sucked. What are we gonna do? Right? No one liked it. No one watched. You didn't show up. You watched the VOD. Okay.
You just want to see the highlights, of the story. You know?
But I mean, I like that because I like. It's also like a fun challenge because on the section I'm doing, we've been like we uploaded like the whole 7 stream into one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun tackling how do you make 40 hours into like an hour to 2 hour video. It's really like fun, and engaging, and that's always a fun challenge. And I love uploading those videos.
You say it's a fun challenge, but are you?
It's not a chance for you.
It's not a chance for you.
When Mudan sends me like the video and I sit there for like 2 hours and like going through it and chopping it down. Actually, that one was actually very helpful because the editor was a Final Fantasy nerd, which helps so much. Because normally,
so then you immediately were all the good parts.
yeah, because like we did like Fear and Hunger. We don't know what the fuck this is. So he just did a bunch of stuff, and I'll get like a double the length video that actually makes it, and then I'll normally OBS screen record me watching the draft, and then give live notes, and then add voiceover live.
Right.
And so then he just gets this 2 hour, like 2-3 hour
That's
video.
not like the most cancerous like way to like go.
No, it's the best way to do it.
of my life.
No, because if I have to write down notes, this video's never getting made.
Right.
So if I can just go online on the thing, record the voiceover while I'm doing the notes, it's like, oh, you can just go through it. It's a really great system to like, because we're going through like 2 videos a week. Some of these videos are 3 hours long. We gotta like find a better system than writing notes. It takes too long.
Writing notes does not take too long.
It takes so fucking long.
What is it? How does
Well,
that?
you can say that because you write
You write a bunch. You write a bunch.
You write a bunch.
You write a script. For me, it's like, okay, I'll pause, like we'll be like 10 minutes in. I'm like, okay, cut this from this timestamp to this timestamp, and I'm gonna record voiceover right now. Put this voiceover in right here instead. And then they just cut it out.
Have you ever used Frame.io?
No, I started using that.
That's literally just like
I don't want to write. I want to talk. Okay.
So I go like through YouTube.
I'm looking to verbalize because I'm also recording the voiceover, right? With the Frame.io, like there are these tools that they've made that it's like imagine a YouTube video, but like you can make annotations on it on like timestamp. And it's very helpful. I think when you're working in a big team, but because it's just literally just me and Mudan, like we're doing a video right now where like the first draft is 5 hours. So that video process was like because the first game called Void Stranger that I played, it's like it's finished, so that's how you already know. It's weird.
Okay.
Right.
But it's like a mess of a story when you play it like in one go. Really interesting, like a really like compelling game. But to kind of present it as a YouTube video requires so much fucking work. And I don't expect the editor to put 50 hours into it like I have. It's like that's ridiculous. So he'll edit like I mean, this one's like way more complicated, but we'll have like people writing notes to send to the editor, like all the key moments to put in, and then we'll start fleshing it out with each moment. It's a nightmare.
This episode is sponsored by MeUndies.
Guys, I'm not the only one who wears underwear, right?
Oh yeah, I am actually wearing underwear.
Okay, well, you're probably wearing boring, non-exciting underwear.
How did you know?
That's where MeUndies is going to come in and change your life.
From all black classics to fun, expressive prints, MeUndies has a look for everyone. Plus, they come in sizes extra small all the way up to 4XL, guaranteeing a flattening cut for everybody.
But guys, did you know that MeUndies isn't just about underwear? You can explore their lounge collection featuring joggers, hoodies, onesies, and more.
MeUndies' signature fabric is as soft as a warm hug from your favorite sweater.
Look at this. I should put this on my face. It's this. Oh, imagine how this feels down there, guys.
Well, don't worry, God, because it's also breathable, stretchy, and mega comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear.
My crotch will never have felt so good in my life. God, that sounds bad out of context.
Luckily for you, they use sustainably sourced materials and work with partners that care for their workers.
And if you're not happy with your first pair, well, don't worry. It's not on you. It's on me. Undies.
MeUndies.com. So what are you waiting for? Good things come in big packages at MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping. MeUndies.com/trash. That's MeUndies.com/trash. 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies comfort from outside in.
Back to the episode.
I know what you play next. I got it.
Okay,
Perfect. Finish Nier Automata. That's actually perfect stream content.
Finish?
Yeah,
finish Nier
I
Automata.
remember you said like you tried it and then you like couldn't get past the tutorial.
Like there was a finish, like a language finish version of the game. Like there was a finished version.
Like a bunch of people in Finland
they remade Nier, but really fucked up the
Specifically the
finish.
fucked up version of Nier
If a
Automata.
bunch of Finnish people remade Nier and added all a bunch of the finished quirks, I'd be down. No, yeah, I got so pissed. So I already described this one.
Yeah,
I was
we
so
did.
fucking pissed off that I died 30 minutes into this tutorial.
Yeah.
And for some reason they make you restart the whole fucking tutorial.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
Because Yoko Taro's a troll,
Yeah,
right?
honestly, I think it's perfect because number one, it is really fucking popular. Number two, there's so many weird moments in it that's just gonna get so many good reactions.
How long is the game?
There's 26 endings, bro.
That's fucked.
No,
That's fucked, Jay.
No, but
That's fucked up that you would say that.
there's 26 endings, but 21.
Well, that's
22 of
canon,
them-
right? That's what I wanna
21,
check.
22 of them.
How long is it right now?
21 or 22 of them are meme endings. So they just like you do a certain thing and it says like game over and it shows the ending, but like you can go
He's
back
the
to
guy
the
that loves
previous
porn, right?
Huh?
He loves porn, right?
Well, he loves near porn, yeah.
How long to beat Nier Automata? About 21 hours.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nier
Is that
Automata-
all for endings?
This
is where it
Is
gets
that just the
confusing.
A
What do
ending?
you mean by that?
Okay, so Nier Automata, there's like an A ending. So
I know
basically,
there's,
26 endings because
yeah.
all the endings are named after letters in the alphabet.
Yeah.
Right? So there's an A ending, which is like basically the first part of the game, and then it goes into the B part of the story. And then you do the B ending, and then it goes into the next part of the story. And from there, to get the final ending, there's either C ending or D ending. So in reality,
he's complicating this. You know, there's like different characters in there.
Yeah.
So
I know it's like A2 and B2.
yeah, yeah. So
no, there's A2. 9S.
You're 2B.
2B.
Okay. So
Oh, it's
first, you play as the girl, the one
2B.
who's thirsting
That's
over,
hot.
and then you finish the storyline, and then you restart the story through a completely different perspective. So although like you're replaying it, what you're really doing is getting a different perspective of the same story, but you're getting so
It's
much
like
more.
This is why he's a YouTube man. He just tricked me into thinking that it sounded good.
Yeah, it is good though.
And you explained to me that it sounded boring.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm Japanese.
You're like, actually, they're 29 What the fuck?
So what people mean when they say there's 3 different endings, what they really mean is you get to the ending of the story 3 different times from 3 different perspectives, and each time you get a new perspective, it adds more to your understanding of the story.
And the remaining ones are all meme endings that Yoko Taro threw in just to troll.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I'm down. I also just love the weird games. Like, I think indie games are doing some really crazy stuff right now. And I have for a long time. They're really cool. And I just love that there's just this. When we played the game, Voice Stranger was talking about. I can't recommend it. It's brutal. Voice Void Stranger.
Oh.
It's a Sokoban type game.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
It means Japanese like warehouse keeper. Is that what it means?
Sokoban? Yeah. Warehouse keeper.
It's like you move blocks. You know those iPhone S games where you like move the blocks
hold on.
together.
Let me see this game. What's it called?
Void Stranger.
Void Stranger.
And it basically tells the story kind of the same way. Like you beat the game, and then like.
Oh
you
yes, I
play
have
some
seen
character.
this.
And like when I played it, there was like one YouTube video about it that kind of explained the story.
Yeah.
And there's the longest video that explains the story. Yeah.
Oh, that one.
I have seen this. I've been wanting to play this.
The guy, I knew I had to play it when the longest, like the 1 hour explainer video opens up with. So I haven't beaten the game yet, but here's what I think of the story so far. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to finish.
Did you finish it?
I mean, I think I did. Because like you have to understand, like the game is so it's literally just Steam forums where people are collecting information.
Right.
There's no like one giant base of information that explains everything neatly.
Okay.
It's all just like snippets from different
Is there
forums.
like game fact of it or anything?
People have made guides on how to beat certain levels, which is very helpful because some puzzles are very tough. But there's no like cohesive. And every single time I read a different story analysis, they're all wildly different. So I was kind of like very confused about what the actual point
Alright,
was.
continue talking. I'm gonna go piss, but I have a feeling I'm gonna piss a lot, so I'll take piss.
Drinking Biru.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I think it's a very Joey game, but also, dude, it's so troll because you like
Wait, what makes it a me game?
Whoa! It's just tedious. But that's how you get the story. God's gone.
Wait, why does that make it a me
you know
game?
what's so fucked about this game? So John's playing it too. Because I actually when I found out about this game, I messaged John. I was like, John, this looks like a John game. And John goes,
John and I do like the same
yeah,
game.
John goes, actually, I'm 15 hours in. And I was like, okay. And I was like, do you think it'd be a good stream game? He's like, I don't think so.
Right.
And he was absolutely right. It was a terrible stream game.
Yeah.
It was impossible for viewers to keep up with going because I was playing it and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Right.
And I had a call with John about like a month ago. And John put about 40 hours in this game. And I'll just say this. Me and John, with 40 hours in the game, we're basically playing a different game.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because there's like some pieces of information that are so crucial for certain things and very easy to miss.
Oh, I love the sound of that.
And
That does sound like a me game.
but the problem is that if you miss certain things, the next 40 hours become absolute pain. In this game, like, it's a knowledge-based game. Okay, games that there's no levels, there's no XP, there's no kind
It's about how much you know about the game.
It's purely about your knowledge of the game. And so having that pretty much is the entire game.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, it's as well at some points it's impossible to do without a guide.
Oh wow.
There was like 1 or 2 puzzles where I kind of understood what it wanted me to do, and without a guide I just couldn't do it. Even though we had like I had live consultations with viewers, like we were all going through it trying to brainstorm how to solve this puzzle, and no one could figure it out. And then I looked at the solution, I was like, fuck you, man. It's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
That's awful.
I love that.
Oh my god.
And if I finish,
Is it only
You just like Finnish games now because they
dude,
like torture
you gotta know something about Finnish game devs. Something's going wrong in Finland. I don't know what's wrong in Finland, but for some reason it makes these amazing game devs that make this the coolest, most fucked up.
Everyone forgets about them compared to the other Scandinavian countries.
It's
pretty awesome at all, by the way.
a warring amount of Finnish games have suicide as an ability in the game. So I don't know what's going on in Finland, but they're just so cool and creative in a way that allows them to like just remake these like really interesting experiences.
So the first thing I find when I type in board games on Google is a PC gamer article that says a seemingly innocent puzzle game is hiding what might be the most subversive fourth wall breaking adventure since Undertale.
I think
that's a big claim.
I'd say yeah, it's got like a good. It's like it does make me feel similarly, but I feel that one thing that Undertale did so well was it gave you a lot of options, but it always directed you on a path to find something out.
Yeah.
The problem with this game is you can literally be in a loop and find nothing out.
Goddamn.
And like there'd be times where I would need to go and find a certain piece of information, but it required me restarting the run and then going to do like 50 levels of puzzles to get one piece of information. That wouldn't help much. Or it could be
That sounds like hell. That sounds like torture. That sounds like torture.
Absolutely.
You're just looking for another what's it called?
YouTube video?
No, Fear and Hunger. You're looking for another Fear and
He's
Hunger.
updating it. So the second game video, a huge update with extra. I'm so pumped. I love those games. The more I play other games, the more I realize how fucking good Fear and Hunger is. How fucking good it is. What a fucking cool world.
Just fucking masochist.
No, I just think like I've never had a horror game that's like got to me like that. I just don't know how to explain it. It's so good. I'm a sim.
I've seen John's video. He's fully sold me on it.
Yeah.
But I also at the same time am terrified to start it.
No, you can start it. It's not that hard. It's hard. It's long. It's not that long.
No, but it's not even that. It's the fact that like John posted. John, by the way, super Wolf. Subscribe if you don't know.
Fan on the show.
The way John described it in his video was so compelling. I'm like, wow, this
John's
sounds
good at doing that.
Oh, he's amazing at that. But he did it in such a good way where it's like, God damn, I want to experience this game for myself. But he made it sound absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So much so that it almost didn't. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. I just like those types of pieces of media. You know, sometimes you just like experiencing stuff vicariously for other people.
Totally.
And watching kind of streams, watching John's videos, I'm like, all right, that's a good experience.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like I played the game.
But now I got to because at the time when I streamed it was literally like the day after John released that video. And the reason why I played Fear and Hunger was because I saw that John released it. And I watched like a minute, and I was like, all right, fuck it. I was gonna play something else that day.
Yeah.
I was like, no, fuck, I'm streaming this game all day today. And I thought it was gonna be unshowable on Twitch because I had to download some weird mod just to censor it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stream it. And whenever I watch YouTube videos, people showing the actual dicks and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I forgot it looks like this.
Yeah.
I've only got played with the fucking pine cones covering the dick. It was at a time where people didn't know a lot about this game. It was so kind of like if you hadn't watched John's video, you hadn't heard about this game.
Yeah.
So getting to experience that firsthand with no one in the viewership able to spoil it was so cool.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just I got to share a first-time experience with like 10,000 other people who were all constantly in shock of like what this game is throwing at us.
Right.
And I'm constantly chasing the high now, and I can't find it.
Yeah, I mean that's I pretty much have never experienced that when I'm streaming a game.
It's the
Because
best
by the
feeling
time I stream a game, even if it's like something like fucking Among Us or Lethal Company, by the time I play the game, I feel like everyone's already
Every
optimized.
inch of it's been covered.
Every inch of it's covered. Everyone has optimized the shit out of this, and I'm like, well,
Even more so with like the second game, like it's a completely different setting, different story, different characters, and it had even less videos about it. Like when I beaten Fear and Hunger, played it, and I wanted to try the second one, I was really scared because the first one was so tough that I was like, I don't know how to beat this. So I looked online, I was like, is there any like beginner advice they recommend taking? And there was like nothing. There's literally like 2 videos about the game that were kind of big. Shout out to Wormgold, those are great. But there was pretty much no videos kind of telling you how to progress through the game, which is so cool because the game is so fucking hard, but really rewarding when you figure it out.
Yeah.
And then they recently patched the thing that I did to like beat the game. I found there was an OP strat where you could like lifesteal and then when you went down to, like, it was a whole combo of things, basically you couldn't die.
Right.
And then he patched it out again. So I was scared to replay it because I only beat it abusing that. So I'm like, I don't want to go back and show them a little bitch boy who didn't play it. But I really want to replay it again.
Yeah.
Did you miss the OG days of like no internet and like having to buy strategy guides?
Hell yeah.
Which you know,
I'm a strategy guide.
I was talking about this with a friend the other day when we went to like a retro gaming bar, and we were just talking about like we were playing this like old NES Transformer game called Mystery of Convoy, and it's like it's considered like it's like a cult classic as like one of the most difficult NES games ever made. And I was like playing through it, and we were just talking about like how like people can beat this now because you know like people figured out like strats and like they spent 20-30 years since the game came out to like really just like tear this game apart and like figure out all the exploits and stuff. But like I remember like back when I was growing up where like the whole like for example like OG Pokemon game of like the Mew under the truck rumor. Or like
that was so fun. All the information had to be spread verbally.
And like your mate had heard this rumor that if you do this in the game,
and then you'd gather to your friend's place and be like, let's see if it's true. And you'd run up the wall 100 times to like just find that one, make sure to to find out if it's like an actual rumor or not. And just like that level of mystique, I definitely miss with like so many things.
Because now you can like even if it's the game that's like the hardest game, you can literally probably do it in 2 minutes and find a speedrun.
Yeah, totally.
But I remember like back in the arcade days, like I used to play Metal Slug all the time. Like I remember punching French kid over it. But I'd gotten so good at it because it was the only game I'd ever play. Right. That whenever like kids were playing it, I'd be like, I can't do that. Let me show you how to do it.
You're like the king of the arcades back then. Yeah, I had that knowledge.
I would like just convince because I was so addicted to playing it. I was just convinced these French kids to let me have one of the credits. I'd be like, let me show you how it's done. Let me join in. And then like especially with like Metal Slug 3, which is such a bullshit game. If you play Metal Slug series, you'll know Metal Slug 3 is fucked. At least the first 4 levels I was pretty good at to do without dying.
I remember that was one of the first games I played with you.
Yes, because I used to play Metal Slug X and I used to do a thing as a kid. Metal Slug 1, 2 was kind of tough. Metal Slug 1 X. I used to redo. I'd go to the arcade and I would beat it all in 1 credit.
Damn.
It was great because then all I would have to do is ask my parents for £1 or €1, and then I would last for like
hours of fun.
An hour. So I would beat the whole game in 1 credit. And like this fucking tight. Same thing with Time Crisis as well. I played Time Crisis so much that especially the first one I can do it. I don't know if I still do it now, but I can definitely do like 2 credits.
Right.
Damn.
So like, well, 2 lives, sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because there's always this, especially nowadays.
I feel like kids might do this. He's gonna pop up right here. Sorry.
Yeah, because back when we were kids, if you completed a video game, there were some certain video games where it was like a badge of honor. Even if it was like something like Pokemon, like even like some of the most mainstream games. But now game design has gone to a place where it's just like okay. So did you hear like Sony are releasing like a what's an autoplay function or something?
Well, they patented it. Right?
They patented like an autoplay function for like certain video games, and got fucking clowned on like to like.
It's like they're pretending like mobile games haven't had this for ages.
Yeah, exactly. And I can see like 2 camps into it, right? Because we're going to be peeing a lot. I can see like 2 camps into it because at a certain point, a lot of gamers have grown up to be adults with lives and less free time. So sometimes you just want to like shut off and just like put inputs in and just experience the game.
Well, you want to watch a movie.
You want to?
I mean, I saw like the top comment in reply to I think the tweet about it was like the image of Conan playing God of War, the new one. Yeah. And he's like, I've been holding this controller for 45 minutes and I haven't put anything in. It's just all cutscenes, right?
Yeah. Well, it's okay. It's kind of like the trade-off. It's kind of like trade-off. Not so much a movie, but it's the sense of achievement versus getting content that you paid money for. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of autoplay, should it be in games? Yeah, I'm done. I mean, it's accessibility, right? I think that like if you want to experience like a video game and for whatever reason you are physically or unable to input on a difficult moment or whatever, I think having more accessibility there is fantastic. And I think that Sony's been one of the companies, especially with the in-house games. Like I know the Last of Us series is really good with accessibility options. You can customize the shit out of that game. You can make it so like the characters are blobs, like red outlines. Whatever kind of visual or physical impairment you have, you can make the game work for you. And in that sense, like, I'm really down for it. So I think it's just a knee-jerk reaction to gamers hearing anything like less gaming. Let's try to take games away. Let's try to take gaming away from us. Let's try to make movies.
and like also sometimes there is a point where you just like play a game or replay a game. There's some sections that you're like, I do not want to play this. Like when you force me to do a fucking stealth mission in like an action game or a trade mission, give me the autoplay function.
Yeah, give me the skip function.
Yeah, because I'm like there trying to speedrun it, and I immediately get like spotted. I'm like,
we just got Let's Players are on like their career's ruins now. It comes out. There'll never be a Let's Player ever again. Walkthroughs have been changed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like and you can argue, well, just make better game design, which I obviously I agree with.
Come on, game designers, get with it.
It's like you watch TV show, and you watch. I don't know if you've ever done this. You want to rewatch TV show. You watch like 5 episodes of episode 1 to 5, and you're like, I'm gonna skip episode 6.
I've never done that.
Or I've sped up through it, but then like, I'm just kind of. I'm sure everybody watch it. Right. I only get the point I want. Like,
I've actually It's not so much I've sped up on it, but I'm like, can we just like get through this and get to the shit I actually care about? I actually felt that recently because I recently watched Invincible season 2.
What the fuck? What did you skip?
Huh?
What did you skip in Invincible season 2?
I didn't skip anything. It was more of they were like, okay, so there's the storyline I care about, which is like the Viltrumites, right?
Yeah.
Everything to do with
romance. You're like, stop.
Everything to do with that. And then I was like, all right, this is the shit I care about. And then there are some like super villains that I'm like, are you really important? Are you?
Oh, you mean with, like the like the lizard people?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that. The one thing that I like about Invincible is that I feel like they're doing a great job of like planting seeds, like stuff that's going to happen in a way that doesn't feel like they're like, look, something's going to happen, guys. It's just little things happen where I feel like there's rippling consequences in this universe that I really jive with. And I think that even stuff like that, inconsequential, it helps really impact the characters in a way that changes them.
Yeah,
which I really like.
Yeah, I mean,
the romance, I kind of wish it wasn't as much, but I can appreciate what it's doing.
I know. Okay, I had this realization. Remember when we talked about, hey, I can't really get into Western or like live action romances.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortably like too much at times.
I think I've realized why. I think I've realized why I couldn't get into it. Okay, this might be a hot take. I think love is just like cringe.
Tell Sydney right now.
The one married man on the podcast.
I'm going to use the word cringe.
All right.
Love is just objectively cringe. You know, all the gadget games where you just went like pretty that meme where he goes.
Okay. Let me justify this. Like real love, like real.
Because it's messy.
It's messy. Okay.
Real love is messy. It's not clean. It's not easy. You have to fight for it. It's not fun to watch.
Okay. Even when we have times when we have met our partners and shit like that. would you be able to go back through your original DMs where you were originally like flirting, talking romantically with them, and not cringe the fuck out of? Fuck no. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Love is fucking cringe.
But women love that shit.
Romance is fucking cringe.
I think just women like romance.
No, women love going back to the old DMs and being like, you remember how cute you were back then? Yeah, that was Akinos. And I'm just like, please don't.
Oh, did you know what I discovered recently? Oh god.
Whoa. I can't lean on the mic so much.
Sorry. But I found this document saved on like my Google Drive, and I'm like, what is this document? It was old Skype logs of me and like Sydney talking back.
When you saved the Skype logs?
Yeah, I saved the Skype log to when I confessed because
that's so cute.
Because at the time I was like, I'm gonna want to remember this.
Yeah.
And
that's actually so sweet.
Yeah. But I was like, at the time I was like, I'm gonna want to remember this, and I do want to remember this, but I forgot that I'd saved it, and I was reading it, and I'm just like, I cannot get through this shit, man.
Very very sweet. Would not want to read that.
I've seen old like YouTube DM messages between like Aki and I back in the day.
You message other YouTube channels?
Yeah, you remember when YouTube DMs was a thing? I've seen some of the old Skype logs, and I'm just like, I use XD way too much.
I was gonna say, like,
it's an unhealthy amount of
you
XD.
go through your old messages, and you like, okay, like back in the day, you know, I use like the winky face sometimes, and I'm like,
winking is objectively a cringe act.
It is a cringe act.
No, what's worse is the winky cat face.
No, don't do that. So your complaint is that you don't want to watch real romance because it's too messy.
It is messy. It is cringe, and you know, even my own. You know, even though when you're flirting, there is a connection between you and the other person.
I mean, it's such a vulnerable thing.
Yeah, it's a very vulnerable thing. But viewed through a third person perspective, you watch two couples be a couple in their own private like home. You are cringe. Let's
say I'm cringe for watching Invincible.
No. What I'm saying is, okay, let's say anyone who is going out right now, or is married, or has a couple right now. You when you are by yourself with your partner, no one else watching. Let's be real here.
You're cringe. Yeah.
You do some cringe shit.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
You do shit that you're like, fuck. If anyone ever fucking filmed this,
if the boys found out what I do,
you're right.
In my private time with my partner, damn, they will never talk to me again.
Oh my god, there's still one moment. I guess
that's literally the entire Napoleon movie. That's literally the entire Napoleon movie. Like, if the boys found out how I was acting, that's literally the Napoleon movie.
They'll never respect me again.
You cannot respect Napoleon if you watch the movie.
Okay, I have this one thing I'm gonna like publicize, I guess, but so you know, when you talk to your girl, sometimes you act a little bit differently, right?
Sure.
So Sydney sent me like a lovey-dovey message, as she does, and I was like a little bit drunk, and I reply back in the same like lovey-dovey style, wishing her well.
Yeah.
And then I close the app. I wake up. I sent it to Alan. I sent it to my editor, by the way. My editor.
Well, he must have been very happy.
And he just
love you too, bro.
And he sends me. I wake up to this reply, and it's just Alan being a real fucking bro, being like, "I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that, and I'm never gonna mention this again." And I'm just like, and then he never did, and I still think about that to this day, man.
I've done something similar, but I sent it to my sister instead.
Oh no!
Yikes.
Yeah, and she was just like, "Are you drunk?" And I was like, "Yes, I wasn't drunk. I was just an idiot."
So going back to why, you know, I like anime romance is because that to me feels so idealized and unrealistic that I'm like, okay, I can invest myself in that romance because it's so far beyond.
Yeah, but they've never had to face a challenge.
Yeah,
they've never had to.
I get that, but then after you've seen so many of those, it becomes so unrealistic that you're just like, the realistic side of you is just like, wait, this is just bullshit though.
I think it's supposed to be. I think romance in shows is meant to be messy, meant to be cringe, meant to be uncomfortable, meant to make you question like, you know, who's in the right or wrong, but then be like, wait, that's not what it's about. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about how these characters feel and how it's impacting them. I think Invincible does a really good job. Although sometimes yes, you are like, for fuck's sake, get on with the Viltrum mic. Although it didn't fucking help. They split it into two fucking parts. So when they do spend a whole fucking hour watching Mark fuck around having to like figure out romance, you're like, god damn it, I got 3 more episodes after this. For fuck's sake, I wouldn't mind if I had 8, but they made me 4. So this is all they about until they split it in half. Don't do that ever again.
The thing is, I get the point of like what it adds to the story and what it adds to like the character, but like it just at the end I just didn't find it like engaging to be like, oh okay, I gotta. Oh, I mean,
I feel like, you know, it's like their way of showing that Mark is more human than his dad.
I like that. I get that.
But then his dad's gonna be like, hold on, it's the same.
Just like me for real.
Yeah, you know, and I get that, but at the same time, it's just this thing where I get the purpose, but at the same time, I can't stop this part of my brain from being like, oh, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but can we just get to the shit I care about? Can we actually just get to the shit I care about?
That's how you know
the reason you care about Mark is because of all this shit. If Mark was just only hitting like slapping people around, you'd be like, I shouldn't Gojo in it. Just,
a lot of people care about that.
Well, people care Gojo because they want to fuck Gojo.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Different priorities.
It's a very different thing. I saw it list actually. It was like I think it was like the Japanese rankings of the ships in Jujutsu Kaisen. And only 1 out of the top 20 was hetero. The rest were all homo ships. It was so funny. Japan is so horny. It's incredible. It's incredible how horny they are for like homo.
I got something to add on to this winner after Joey.
Yeah, okay, so I found it. It is the top 20 Jujutsu Kaisen ships in Japan 2024, and this is gathered from Pixiv.
And only one of them is hetero.
The only hetero one is number 6, which is Gojo and Utahime.
Who the fuck's Utahime?
I don't know. I'm not
I like it. I don't remember.
But the number 1 by far.
Oh, I know, yeah.
What is it?
Gojo and Yuji.
Yeah, it's Gojo and Yuji.
That's a shit.
And then number 2 is Gojo and Megumi, and then Gojo and Geto, and then Sukuna and Yuji. Megumi Yuji, Sukuna Megumi, Nanami Yuji.
Like, literally just listen to the popular characters.
Yeah.
Also, like where Toto isn't on there.
Toto's not in the top 20.
Did you hear about Freeren's popularity poll?
No.
So Freeren, the manga, also did a popularity poll.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to guess where Freeren came?
Probably like 7th.
She came 5th.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
I don't really like Freeren that much.
Who do you think came number 1?
Stark.
No.
Friend?
It was Himmel. Himmel came number 1.
I mean, Himmel's kind of
Okay. Well, who do you think came number 2?
It's gotta be Stark. Come on, my boy, Stark.
It was Aura.
Huh? What?
Aura? You know, the fucking
girl?
No.
I'm terrible remembering names.
You know the small little fucking demon lord that like off herself?
Why is she number 2?
Because she's
in Japan, isn't it?
Okay.
That's concerning. Who's number 3?
Number 3 was Fern. Number 4 was Ubel.
Oh my god. Where's Stark?
Stark is 7th.
What the fuck? Dude, okay, we watched Freeman.
Yeah.
The biggest injustice in that show is Stark having to put up with these two socially ass inept women. So annoying. I feel so bad for Stark.
Stark got beaten by that one little fucking demon girl.
Who is that girl?
For like one episode.
Who is that girl?
That's,
oh my god,
that's the girl that like Fern defeated in like one episode. She came sick.
Whenever Fern gets pissed off at Stark, I'm like, you are in the wrong. You are the problem here. Why are you acting like you did anything wrong? I get so worked up, man.
That
Do
is
you feel the same?
That's
Am I crazy?
the most Japan poll I've ever seen.
And I'm like, wait, actually, this checks out because apart from Himmel being an absolute giga chad, this checks out to how much fan art I've seen of each of these characters.
Yeah, totally.
So this,
I cannot stand Fern in the show. I love the show.
Yeah.
Whenever Fern talks, she's just always so selfish. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't watch this.
No, she's like, I think she's an accurate representation of just a fucking teenage girl.
Yeah,
She's just a really well written character. Because
that's why I hated her. She's just, but I can't look away. It's a very good show. I mean, it's an amazing show.
Yeah.
I do think that the last arc was a little long compared to the rest of the show, pacing wise, but it was still a banger show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get what you're talking about. At the same time, I'm like, I've met girls like Fern. Like, you know, they have trouble verbalizing their feelings in like the right way, so it like comes out in like a completely different way.
But that's why it's good because I dislike her. I would never want to be around a character like that. But that's why it's so good because other animes, I'm like, I just don't care. But like actively, whenever I'm watching them, I'm like screaming at the TV, like trying to backseat. But that's why it's so good. 'Cause I'm so invested.
Yeah.
It's so good. And Free Ren, oh my god, don't get me started. Also, I mean, Himmel, what the fuck, man? Just say something. What the fuck,
bro? What do you mean?
That is the most unrealistic part of that show. Is that he was that horny for that long and didn't say anything.
I feel like
a man that egotistical didn't think like
okay. I was just no.
Motherfucker, I'd rather die to my grave.
I'm gonna defend Himmel here because
he's undefendable.
No, I'm gonna defend Himmel here, right? Because like when you get to the stage, okay,
he was in too deep.
Okay, like, imagine this, right? Tell your bros. All right, so I put a ring on this girl that I like. She didn't say anything. She didn't reciprocate anything.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like being friend zoned here. I feel like at which point I feel like he has done enough, but like for like a lot of people to like aside from everyone but Free Ren. This is like more Free Ren. This is a Free Ren thing. If it was any other girl, they would have gotten the hint like 10 episodes ago.
Okay, here's what I'd argue, right? Let's say if he was a realistic person, right? Would he go to the fucking grave, never talking to another woman, never like marrying elsewhere? He's just like, yeah, I just kind of accepted that she wasn't into me, never asked, never checked. I'm just gonna go to the grave, be happy that she didn't visit me for 40 years, and just die single. Motherfucker, what? You never got you tell me you had all these years to move on and potentially like find someone else. No, I'm just be so into the fact that he's so in love with her, but couldn't have the thought to maybe ask her maybe that she's just socially inept. That you could be like, hey, Free Ren, this is me saying I like you. How do you feel back? Just so I know, so I can move the fuck on.
Yeah.
God damn it, Himmel. That's the most bullshit part about Himmel. Is that he didn't say anything. That man who won't shut the fuck up about himself, suddenly now he wants to shut the fuck up for 80 years? Unbelievable. I don't believe him. No shot.
Look, Free Ren was the one who was just like, I'm a geek, guys. I'm a fuck off.
There's no way that his Christian bro wasn't going to be like, bro, come on. Come on now. Either say something or go. Come on. We know he would have, right? Also, that's the worst part about the show. They got rid of the guy who likes all the women halfway through. And I'm like,
do you know why? Because like this
because he solved all of that drama.
Yeah, he did.
It drove me insane when he left. I was like, there's no more sane people in the room. Honestly, the whole time I was thinking, I was like, you know what, Stark? Yeah, you should have ran away with the monk elf. You should have gone with him. You probably would have lived a Chad life being happy and not having to deal with Fern and her bullshit.
Like the monk was just like the monk was us. The monk was there to like say what we were feeling, and then the author was like, wait, this is actually too OP. This is too much EQ right now. I'm gonna like
he's solving every situation.
Yeah.
Imagine if you have an adult in the room. God forbid you have an adult to be like, hey guys, maybe you should talk to each other. Yeah, literally the scene after he's like, hey guys, I think you guys should talk to each other about this. Like, all right, see you guys.
I've done my job.
This solves too much of the show.
He was like the social equivalent of like having Gojo in your story, but instead of like being OP in powers, he was just OP by just being social. Just being social. He was like, fuck, I've written myself into a corner. I don't know where to take the story anymore. I'm gonna write him out. There's no more conflict in the story anymore.
I like Free Ren though. Yeah, Free Ren though. Free Ren doesn't get in the way. Free Ren doesn't like make her like when she's like just thinking, she's like, I'm just gonna do my thing.
Yeah, Free Ren to me has made the character trope that I despise the most actually like likable.
I think it's presented in a way where it's framed in a way that makes a lot of sense to the viewers.
Yeah,
and like a lot of the consequences
it's
of it also.
I think it's the best thing.
Yeah, and it's not like she doesn't see any consequences.
It's not like I have no emotions. I'm a kudere. What is
she's not gonna do that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's just like, I'm just an alien. I can't actually talk. I'm like, no, stop, please.
Well, it's like in not to throw it back, but like in Origami, right, where the god of death has been around for hundreds of years, has just never had to mature because he's just a fucking kid.
Wow, that's real. I have to think about that for a second.
That's what reminded me of.
Where you go with Noragami?
Because he's like a god who's been around for a while, and you think God to be so mature, but he's never had to address any of this shit. So when he goes to the human world, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh wow, I'm an actual child.
I'm impressed that you remember the plot to Noragami.
I just remember that he was annoying. I liked him, but he was annoying.
Yeah, Colin does that quite a bit actually, where he mentions like while we're talking about something else, you mentioned an anime from way back when, where I'm like, fuck, I'm shocked you remember that. I remember like how many episodes ago it was. I think it was another drunk episode on this topic, and you randomly brought up Black Bullet.
I love Black Bullet. Just for like.
Do you fucking remember that show?
Yeah, remember the monoliths? What a weird thing that was.
But like the fact that I was like,
I remember the one scene I remember. This is the one scene I remember when I
definitely like the way I've seen this.
When I think he saved a school or something. Yeah. It's just like all of the children were just like fucking hugging him.
I remember that scene. Did you actually came from like a weird angle?
Oh, definitely, because I remember because I remember this watching this way back when, even
yeah, because the main girl's a lol, you remember?
Yeah.
So like clearly there was like some kind of implication with that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I just like consumed. I don't think I ever thought about shows.
No, this was like even before I ever like thought about shows. But even though like a few scenes where I'm just like, that's weird.
That's a weird angle.
That's weird.
I just didn't think anything of it when I was like 20. I think the older I get, the more I'm like,
All I remember was like, oh, the Master Man was pretty cool.
Yes, that's right.
And the monoliths were weird. That's the only thing I remember.
But I really enjoy Free Ren. I think that it's done something amazing because I think a lot of the times is that when they make socially awkward or inept characters, I feel like it comes from a place of actually not understanding social situations. But I feel like to write a character like Free Ren, you need to understand social situations so well to be able, and also what someone who is maybe socially awkward would feel, like genuine empathy towards that, to be able to write characters this well. As writing teenagers is hard because teenagers don't make fucking sense. No, teenagers are fucking dumb.
And they annoy the shit out of us as well.
I mean, Invincible. I mean, even though they're not teenagers, like 20. I don't know how long they're in college.
I mean, they were technically teenagers when they started.
Yeah, it's fucking kids. I don't want to watch 21-year-olds. I'm dumb. I'm too old for this shit. Okay, there's something that happens when I don't know what age it is, but it's like definitely like 23, where I just start to become like, I can't relate to you guys anymore. We don't have the same.
Well, that's called just getting. It's called getting older.
It's called being jaded.
Yeah, but like I hang out with I mean, Pete's like 40, and I feel like no.
Yeah, but I feel like beyond the age, after 25, I feel like
it doesn't matter.
I feel like a lot. You can relate to like any.
You've gone through enough tax cycles. You've gone through enough shitty things happening. You're like, I get it now.
You've adulted. You've gained adult experience.
You've dealt with enough bullshit to know that there's only like more bullshit that you can deal with. You know,
the road is looking dark. And you're fully aware of it.
You know how I love the fucking, I forgot his name, but the fucking old guy. I loved him so much in Free Run. The old magic guy. The one with the monocle. Huh? The one with the monocle and the beard.
Oh, that guy. Oh, the guy who was just like, yo, I might be out of mana, but I ain't out of options, baby.
I love him. I love him so much.
Because like, oh, that's like such like that was one of the best character writing moments where I was just like, okay, I thought you introduced this guy for me to like hate this guy, and I'm like, wait, he's like the realest one out of everyone taking this exam.
He is the sanest guy in the room.
Yeah,
and I love him so much. Yeah, he's just such a good character, and I think again that's what the show's done so well. And the reason why I think Invincible, like last season we had that show and we had Honkai Star Rail, like just real fucking good writing of characters. You know, because Free Run, you know, and also I mean also a spectacle in every other sense. But it was amazing. I'm so pumped for more.
Yeah, I'm
28 epissodes. What a fucking amazing way to watch it.
Do you think it deserves number one of all time?
Not yet. Let's get in there.
See, here's the thing. Like,
let the blonde hair go. Not yet. Cigar puff.
Here's the thing.
We discussing Free Run with the boys, smoking a cube. I don't know about that yet.
It's always like everyone I ask this question because I said the exact same thing. I'm like, it's not ready. But like when I think about it, I'm like, can I say anything bad about Free Run? It's just like, not really. Maybe the last arc went on for a bit too long.
I do think that's fair, isn't it? I think I know people. I saw some people say on Twitter they got destroyed, but I actually think it was like a little slow.
I like the last. I mean,
it was just jarring for the first few episodes because it went from such a highly paced adventure that was, highly paced. Well, it was like they would go through time in a speed that was quite consistent. Sure. And then suddenly they were like, this episode was 20 minutes. Yeah. And it was real time, like in world 20 minutes as well. You're like, okay, hold on now. This is quite a different speed. I also did not care for Armpit Lady as much as I think Twitter does.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the fan art.
She's like a DJ litmus test. Like I think if you look at her and you see her armpit and you're super into it,
the armpit was the cherry on top. It was
her as a character.
People just like crazy chicks. All right, let's just say that.
Have we not learned from your NET, bro?
Yeah. They may come in different colors, different flavors, but bro, boys be liking crazy chicks no matter what.
She's actually my least favorite character actually. I think. And when she was on screen, I was like.
Yeah, but she was there to get like the fucking sales up. You know, she was there to be like.
They were like, well, we have Free Run, but maybe we need one more character to get sales just to make sure.
We need some edge in there. We need someone who's
more shit options.
Yeah, we need more Dojin bait, bro.
Yeah, exactly. She does feel like Dojin bait. Sometimes they're like the fucking American Psycho card scene. They're like, what about this one? And they're like, good.
Spacing's perfect.
Spacing. Just the right amount of crazy. Green puke hair. Short skirt. Yeah, we can work with this. It does feel that way. Like it's perfectly designed.
Let's see the armpit real quick.
It just feels like that, dude. I don't know. It feels like it was made for Dojinshi. I feel like there's no other like I don't know. I mean,
it's funny because coming from Free Run the manga, I think we briefly talked about this, but Free Run the manga when I read it was the most like anti-Dojin Dojin title I've read because it was so fucking emotional and
no, that's the thing. The more emotional, the more Dojin. The more Dojin.
I feel like it's changed. I feel like times have changed. Because I was thinking about this, and you know, there was a time when the most Dojins happened to the characters that were fan service the most. You go back to the Monogatari era.
Yeah.
So many fucking
Lover,
and now you look at like waifu bait shows, and a lot of them actually don't have as many Dojins as shows like Free Run.
Well, I think because when you don't present everything, the imagination does the rest.
Yeah,
that's what does so well with art.
I feel like because the new generation has grown up with so much more exposure of like horny culture.
Yeah, that's probably.
I mean, it's I guess horny culture. That it's just like if you see a character who is just there for fan service, it's just like, well, I see this on my Twitter timeline every fucking day.
Yeah.
Please do something new.
It's like it's not enough.
Yeah. But when you get like one armpit, you're like, whoa.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
It's like the barrel isn't completely empty. There is ammunition in this gun.
Wait. She just showed her armpit just when she was. This was like a random battle scene, but I just got distracted. You know, it's just like the barrier for fan service is just it's either completely degenerate or people calling. Okay, opinion. When Free Run was just hanging out on the bed and there was just a shot with her like feet, just like hang out on the bed. Does that count as fan service?
Yeah.
For people who love feet, yeah.
You don't have to put that in. Bro, ask Quentin Tarantino. You don't have to put that in.
Yeah,
there's no reason to animate that.
Okay.
What are you showing? What are you gaining?
But the thing
you know
is,
what you're doing when you do that.
Okay, but the thing is, like, the thing is, because you look at that scene and it's just like, oh, okay, it's just
bro,
a girl.
Out in France.
It's just a girl hanging out. It's not like Quentin Tarantino fucking
on bed, bro. I wear socks in bed sometimes. Right before it's a chilly day. It looks chilly in Free Run.
Wait, you fucking serious?
No, I don't sleep in the socks. But like, if I'm like going to bed or like I'm just chilling in bed for a little while, I keep the socks on. I want to keep warm. Do you not do that?
That's diabolical.
What's wrong with wearing socks in bed?
No.
Wait, do you not sleeping?
Wait. Are you?
My feet run cold. Yeah, my feet run really cold.
My feet don't get cold.
Wait. My feet like bone ice.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
Okay,
you don't believe my feet cold?
As soon as my feet go undercover, that is like a no sock zone.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, I have a problem where, even if it's like even remotely chilly outside, even if it's in summer with the AC on, like my body will be perfect. My feet will be like rock solid ice. I think I have really bad circulation.
No, my feet are like the first things to sweat.
No,
on my body.
My feet never sweat.
Socks are the first thing I take off.
Sometimes I have to wear it because my feet feel like they're in rigor mortis.
No, if I don't feel the 1,000 thread count of my sheets bare on my feet, then like it's not right.
There must be one like you've been in a really nice hotel bed. You're like, can I just?
Do you wear socks inside?
Yeah, of course.
Like let's say it's a weekend, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not a savage.
No, hell no.
Am I the weird?
No. You and I are the same level. The only time, hell, sometimes I don't even wear socks when I go outside. But like,
that's the ultimate.
I would like to remind you, it is purely out of it. My feet run fucking cold as shit.
If I'm not standing on ice directly, I will not have socks on.
Listen, I'm sure that if you're watching this, you have poor circulation in their limbs. Who can
it's a skill issue.
It's a skill issue.
What the fuck is poor circulation?
Some people's fingers and feet run way colder.
Just move your toes around a little bit.
That's not how that works.
Just do it on the knees and your toes. Just warm up a bit.
I only wear socks if there is one like maybe guests around.
Yeah.
But if I'm by myself, if it's the weekend, I'm not going anywhere.
I think put socks on with guests.
If my socks are too cold, I turn the heating up because that means the heating in my house is too cold.
That's the one thing where I hate slippers.
Well, I love slippers.
I hate slippers because my feet get so sweaty.
Oh my god, you get it.
Right?
You get it.
Okay, so what you guys are describing is that you both just have good circulation in your feet. And
Maybe a little too good.
Yeah, because I put slippers on, it's perfect.
No, when I put it could be like no heating on, cold as shit outside. The moment I put slippers on, I'm like my feet feel disgusting.
I mean, yeah,
I'm sweating into these slippers.
It's not a big deal. We just have different circulation.
Yeah, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, but also, do you find socks comfortable?
Yeah.
Depends on the socks for me.
Why wouldn't you find them? You need a good pair of socks. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
I spent like 5 years finding the
no,
best.
I can. Okay, here's the thing. All right.
I went I had like a free runner's journey of finding
How
socks.
often? Okay, this is getting completely different. How often do you like just hang out in your house with like the least amount of clothes on possible? Like no trousers on,
Never.
Never.
I don't want my bare skin touching my couch and my PC.
Okay, is this a hot take to say that you know how like it's like the fucking whole like gamer thing of like, oh, I'm not wearing pants today.
Yeah.
I hate not wearing pants.
Yeah, I hate not wearing pants. I don't want my bare skin touching my gamer.
No, I don't. The only time I'm not wearing pants is when I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Which is where like I just have like a t-shirt and undies on.
Even sitting on my couch is like this material. It doesn't feel good on my skin.
I don't want to not wear pants.
Oh fuck, but sometimes it just feels so freeing.
It doesn't. I feel like
sometimes
these
it feels
pants are so baggy. It's amazing.
yeah, that's why I wear the baggy pants because it's comfortable and I'm still free because like, my balls can still breathe.
Like sometimes it's like a hot summer's day and you're just like,
wear shorts, brother.
Shorts. Literal like the trash day shorts that we have.
Yeah,
are perfect.
the Hawaii shorts that we have. Trash day still short, by the way.
Tell it's not sale anymore.
Fuck. But if you bought them, you know how breathable that shit is. No, see, that's the one thing. Like, it's for the longest time, it's been a staple on the internet of like, oh, it's a no pants kind of day. Or like, I'm not wearing pants when I'm gaming. Blah blah blah. I'm like, no, that feels. I feel perverted in my own house. You know, like I feel like I'm exposing to myself.
Like
Like,
mental diff, mate.
no, it's just like no, the mental diff is you have some kind of disease where like you don't like cloth on your like fucking hamstrings.
Maybe I want to be naked, you know. Maybe because I don't really like wearing clothes when I like sleep because I feel like that's like constricting.
Even a t-shirt. What do you wear when you go to sleep?
Most just boxes.
So no shirt.
Depends on how cold it is,
Right.
Especially if it's like a summer. I only wear shirts in like a winter. And but
Put
like
the AC on, dog.
Joey, that fucking energy bill, mate. That fucking energy bill.
Fuck off,
Think
the
about the fucking energy bill,
Do you
mate.
see how many lights are on in the studio?
This is a studio where we're filming things, Joey. This is not the same thing, Joey. It's not the same
It doesn't
thing.
matter in Japan because of the fucking humidity, bro. Like people's like, oh, it's hot, just open the window. It's like, no, it's hotter outside because of the fucking humidity. The God's complaining about like, oh, like I always say like, oh, you know, even if it's hot, like the middle of the summer, right? I still want to at least sleep with like a t-shirt on because I have the AC on anyway.
I'll sleep with any clothes on.
Like none at all.
Normally just boxes.
Just boxes. Yeah, if it's fucking hot as shit, I will.
We mean no every time.
Yeah,
Every time?
Every time.
Just like unless it's like really cold, then I'll wear a t-shirt. A t-shirt at most. I can't wear like long sleeves.
Oh, long sleeves is just psychotic.
Yeah,
Even in the winter, I don't wear long sleeves.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't sleep with t-shirts on.
Do you know what?
You're already surrounded by clothes.
Do you know one thing I don't understand? Pajamas.
Yeah, I don't get pajamas.
I don't get pajamas.
Like okay, there's like two levels to this. I don't understand pajamas, but on like the thing that I think is like something that I like, you might as well do like quadratic equations in a different fucking universe. When people go on holiday and they specifically pack pajamas to go on holiday, I'm like, what the fuck? You are taking up space to put pajamas in your bag that is taking up weight and space where you can just not put that in. That is like
Pajamas evolved to be so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like you don't need pajamas. You literally have sheets. You have two pieces of big clothing.
We need to phase out pajamas like we phased out like pajama hats, you know?
I think that's
Like,
I
just
think
that shit, like-
that's tight though.
With the hats.
It looks so cool. And you're like,
Like a
It's more
Pinocchio
like
ass.
the fucking aesthetic, you know. I couldn't wear that on a daily basis, but no, every time we go on holiday,
Malin said it's actually good for your hair. And he told me that once. He said,
Malin says a lot of things.
hats are
Malin
good-
says a lot of things
hats
that I
are
don't
good to avoid hair damage while you sleep.
Malin also says that otters other animals and
I think
shit
they
like that.
do. I think they do.
Probably they do.
No,
I don't know.
otters, isn't it?
Other otters, I don't know.
No, dolphins do.
That's I've heard this before. Because Sydney always here's the thing. Sydney always says this whenever I mention fucking dolphins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, logistically, like they're like, oh, dolphins have done that to humans before. I'm like, I don't believe you.
I think they have.
No, they have.
Okay, logistically, no googling, no
Yeah.
fucking googling. Logistically, explain to me how that is possible.
What, a dolphin having sex with a human?
No, a dolphin R-wording a human.
Well, because dolphins
Where
apparently
is this episode?
because it's a drunk episode. Because dolphins, from what I remember, dolphins, along with monkeys and humans, are the only animals in the animal kingdom that have sex for pleasure.
Yes, I know
Right.
that, yes.
So the argument can be made that any animal that has sex for pleasure also has the mental capacity to be able to R-word.
Mental capacity. I'm
Yes.
talking about physical capacity here.
Well,
Tell me,
don't get too close to a dolphin, brother. They're faster than you in the ocean.
like what is the logistical way that happens? I just like
I don't know, man. Dolphins are smart.
what do you think they made like a fucking contraption?
Yeah, they're thinking that way.
This isn't fucking Goblin Slayer, Joey. They don't have appendages, man.
Dolphin Slayer. I don't know. Is the answer to your
I
question?
think it's something we researched.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But it's like something that Sydney and Malin tell me all the time, and I'm like, that sounds unrealistic.
Malin just wants dirt on everyone. Even his dolphins.
Malin's like, oh, you like this cute cuddly thing? Well,
Yeah.
by the way, let me tell you.
Well,
that
you never know. Like, we could be talking about this and it's been so widespread, but like, it could literally be like the new under the truck of the animal kingdom. Like, it's just like bullshit that people have just like believed over the years. Because like, oh yeah, there's enough evidence to like support it, but like, So and this is like, I don't know how many circles of gacha hell this is, but there are
like,
maybe this is this is basically whenever you cross the lake of fire and you go into the inner sanctum of Satan. And there are different gacha subreddits for each different character where they talk about the character. And obviously, every new character gets one. Robin got one, which is the new Honkai Star Rail character. And the moderators of the subreddit made a public service announcement that Tectone was permanently and formally banned from the subreddit. That's right. You did that.
She ain't gonna show up either. Because I'll be fucking her. She's not even going to show up on Reddit, bro.
You think so? I bet she won't be there either because she's not real.
True. It's actually funny. I have a buddy in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right. They're getting their stomach worked on. They're in a lot of pain, but they're good now. But they said, and how I was able to stay happy every day was by reading these dumb fucks come after you on the internet. So thank you for the entertainment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How is that from like y'all seeing that shit?
I hate when you type all those goddamn emojis. I'm like, yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
That's the point. I do it intentionally. I literally have my chat. What's the most irritating emoji to put?
It's the nails one.
The nails is crazy. Or the guy who's like,
Is there like a pose version of the nails one? You should do that one instead.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the pose one.
Oh man, they hate it. But yeah, it's been a really fun week for me. How was y'all's week? Anything cool happen?
Oh fuck! What did I do this week? I played this Crab Souls game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this game is so good. Holy
I didn't think
shit!
it'd be that good. It looked kind of like I was watching people play, and I was like, eh.
So the story of the game is that you get to a city, and I'm going to spoil a little bit, but it doesn't ruin the whole story if you play it. And there's like they're all looking forward to Trash Day because Trash Day is the day that their captain gives them new orders to find treasure. And the Trash Day, the captain is actually Captain Crunch on a destroyed box of cereal that they then try to piece together the different pieces of the destroyed cereal box to find the treasure map that's on the back of a children's cereal box. And it's like a 1-for-1 with like real life cargo cults that are like uncontacted tribes from like different areas in Africa and like in Indonesia and like Indoasia. And like these places are completely uncontacted by any sort. I sound like a crazy person.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. And so basically, these different cargo cults are people that like they see an airplane or like the airplane drops things down and it completely alters and changes the entire culture of like that place. And there are even different tribes that are agreed upon, like like with anthropology, like they are not to be contacted because usually they kill people. And so they're cannibals.
Yeah.
And
Is this in the game or out of the game?
This is out of the game.
This is real.
Life, right? And so the crazy fucking thing is that they actually 1-for-1 this with the crab game. And that was the most brilliant fucking thing I'd ever seen. It was so good.
Okay,
I was amazed.
That sounds good. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah, it was so good.
I played Stellar Blade and Cyberpunk.
How far did you get with Stellar Blade?
I'm like 2 hours in.
Okay, so you basically you're not really playing Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm owning it though.
Is it that good? Because I played the demo and I thought it was like okay.
It's really good. It's really fucking hot. So I love it. But
Like the story.
The story's alright. Yeah.
You don't even know that.
The story?
Yeah, you've played the game for 2 hours.
Yeah, for those 2 hours I've enjoyed it.
Okay, so are you going to play Stellar Blade?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so
I don't care about spoilers though.
I'm not going to ruin 2 games today. I'll just ruin 1. It's actually a very good game. And so you said that the gameplay was like kind of like it was probably like kind of laggy whenever you played it, right?
Stellar Blade?
Yeah.
I don't think I experienced that.
Okay, well there's a bit of input delay, right?
For me, it was smooth as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, when?
Like when for 2 hours I played, it was perfect.
Yes, obviously because they fixed it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And so
Okay.
they improved it from the beta. The game is, in my opinion, a 7 out of 10 story, but the gameplay I think is actually it's better than Lies of P.
Yes, I picked that up immediately because the parry in Lies of P feels fucking terrible. Over Stellar Blade, I feel like feels fantastic.
The animations are better in Stellar Blade too.
Yeah, and like the blink mechanic, like I love how they have the blue dash forward, purple dash back, yellow. I think it's like jump or some bullshit.
You can't parry.
Yeah, you can't parry. Dude, it feels really good. I feel like everything's very fair for what I've done so far. But yeah, and the collectibles are good, and the exploration's good. It just feels good. Super underrated.
Yeah, you go around collecting soda cans actually.
Yeah, and her ass is insane.
Why aren't you farming the Stellar Blade haters instead of the Honkai lesbian people?
I don't know. Priorities.
I was just I monopolized that.
Oh yeah, you handled it.
Yeah, I did that
I was
myself.
like, I feel like that'd be so much easier.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, it's what it is. Plus, the Stellar Blade controversy wasn't really that big. Was it huge?
It's not as big as like for example the Helldivers controversy or like the Robin controversy was pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, people are downplaying that quite a bit.
What?
They say, oh yeah, well the Robin controversy, it looks like it's big, but it's really not. It's just the vocal minority. But it's like when your vocal minority is that loud, like that's kind of a problem.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can have crazy people everywhere. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I don't worry about
crazy
it.
people.
Sure, I'm
Yeah,
saying
there's
people
a lot of
underplay it and say it's not a reflection of the community. Yes, it fucking is. How would that not be a reflection of the community? Like, can you put it in words like if it's fucking globally trending for fucking 5 days? Like, how's that not?
Yeah, I think that is the community because there were similar things in League, like with Diana and Leona or like Graves.
Yeah.
And, like people would get upset about that, be like these characters are obviously gay, but be like, no, they're fucking not. But like it never became like that.
Yeah.
You can
Those characters
assume
aren't gay.
you can assume that the stupidest thing that the community could be is probably what it is.
Exactly.
With any game, that's probably what's going to happen. And, like think of the worst possible outcome. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's
every single time.
The Hoyo community has been so fucking cool for so long, and it's a shame because.
But to be fair though, they are a vast minority. They're less than 10% of the player base. Same with Stellar Blade.
For sure.
Same with Helldivers or anything like that.
For sure.
It's always a very small minority of people that are extremely vocal.
For sure, but the section that represents the community is like that.
They sure are.
And it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Sure, I know the majority of players who play the game. They're just like, they don't even go online. But like, why would we talk about them? Because they're not on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't want to talk about the things that represent in front of you. But yeah, there's something else I want to talk about Stellar Blade. Yeah, apparently they had the N-word on the wall.
No, they didn't.
Okay, what was that about?
So basically, obviously, Stellar Blade was made by a Korean studio, and they used like kind of pre-made graffiti words. They probably just took like a lot of, and so it said like crime or hard or
the hard R shop.
Yeah, right. And so they put these graffiti things all over the entire game.
Yeah.
And it was just pretty much applied randomly. And yeah, there it is. Right.
That looks insane, Asmund.
Well, yeah, but not really though.
Yeah,
right?
that's just unfortunate placement.
And so basically, what happened is like the R shop there. That's clearly a rest shop, and you can go and sell things there, and it's not really a big deal. This is I think in the city, and so people obviously saw that and they're like, oh, this is kind of unfortunate, and so they just changed it. It really wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Last week, did we talk about the world? Why the world doesn't believe that beautiful women exist?
Yeah, I think we probably did.
I don't think people ever like say that though.
Well, the problem is that here's my big issue with the SJW snowflake culture on Twitter, where when a woman is sexualized, people lose their fucking mind. But when people like Kratos exist, nobody gives a fuck.
I don't feel like that's the same though. Because Kratos is like a very unrealistic guy, right? Like he's like a big guy, super muscular, shirtless.
Yep.
But I feel like that's not on this because like there's also girls that are like very unrealistic, like big titties, like I don't know, like Bayonetta for example.
How is Bayonetta unrealistic?
I mean, there's people that look like Kratos too.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not like an average thing that you would see every day, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but what people don't like for women is like when a game will make it so their titties are like doing this shit and stuff. Like there's not really an equivalent like that for guys, you know? Like it's not every, like I think it's like some people are like, hey, this is like weird, but most people aren't like gonna like boycott games over it.
Okay,
you know?
so I think it's great.
So, I mean, I don't care, but I get like for some people it's like that kind of
Some people don't. I think this is the way that the morality works. Just so you understand, and like I don't know if you'll agree with this or not, but for men and women, but people don't like sexualization for just women. Now, for me, I think that's great. But obviously, that's I think what the difference is and the distinction is in their minds.
Yeah, it's just like the demographic, because like for like most guys and then even like some girls to that, it's like, okay, it's like not real, it's a character, it's like artistic in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like titty slapping, it's like, you know, meant to like be visually attractive and like that's it. But then for some people, they see that and they're like, I don't like that. That's like a representation of like what I am, and people are just like viewing it in like a gross way. Like especially for people that aren't gamers, I think just to them it's kind of confusing because they don't really get it. You know,
that's the problem, isn't it? It's the fact that people that aren't gamers come into the gamer space. They try to tell them what they can and they can't like, and then they get mad whenever people get mad at them.
Like I've seen chicks with massive fucking titties. Like if they were fighting,
I don't think people don't like girls with big boobs though.
But I was like, when you say like they're flopping around, like, they would do that. The titties would flop around.
I saw the Cinder clip.
They don't be moving like in some of those games.
Yeah, Cinder's boobs. Yeah, there was a VTuber called Cinder. Super sweet, super nice. And they were saying that her, boobs on her model were unrealistic. So she recorded the video of herself.
Real boobs?
Well, no, she was on the stage or somewhere, and she like walked across the stage, and obviously they were bouncing a lot, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, real anime physics."
Yep.
Yeah, people loved it.
It's good, man. I'm just saying, like, I think the only reason, because first of all, apparently it's okay for dudes to walk around in just underwear all the time. That's not sexualizing. I don't get how people come like poison. But I think the only reason why, because women's vaginas aren't sexualized in video games. You'll see like an outline. Holy fuck.
Well, you don't see dicks sexualized either. To be fair.
Exactly, 100%. And I think it's because they quite literally cannot do that.
They can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, to me, if you were to put it one by one, I feel like a dude being shirtless is the same as a woman having big old boobs bouncing around in a bra.
I think it's about the same thing. And
yeah, I think it's about the same.
I think if anybody is getting mad about it, they just need to shut the fuck up.
I agree.
Or just don't play the game, right? Like that's the way that I look at it. Like there's games and like shows that I think are weird, and I just don't watch them. That's it.
I mean, there is more like there's more details to it, because I genuinely think like the average person, like Twitter isn't a good representation, but the average person is like pretty reasonable, right?
Sure.
And I think like part of it with like the girls like being uncomfortable with like how other girls are portrayed in games is because like of how women treat men and how men treat women that they find attractive. Like, whereas like a girl probably isn't gonna be like jacking off to a dude they find hot, right?
I feel like they would.
So,
I think women are more horny than men.
Based on what?
Based on the women that I know.
Well,
I think there's obviously going to be girls that like, they think that these guys are attractive. I feel like that's common sense, of course, right? And so as long as it's not done in a way that's like weird, I don't really see it being a problem. And even if it is, it's like, I don't see the problem. If you're a dude and you want to make a game with girls in bikinis for other dudes, that seems fine to me,
Absolutely.
right? And it's like, if people don't want to play that, then that's the way it is. It's like with a lot of hot tub streams, I bet if you look at the gender demographics there, it's a lot of guys.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, I found out the other day because I did a porn podcast.
Oh God.
I'm about to say something real fucking weird.
Great.
Okay, but we're just gonna bring it out there. Okay. Women can come like multiple times, like in succession.
Yeah.
Like 6, 8 times.
I don't know, 6 or 8.
Yeah. That's just fucking wild to me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yep. I thought twice, sure.
Yeah.
Fucking 8? That's ridiculous.
That's a lot of times.
That's
So is this going to be like a regular thing for you? Like a regular podcast that you do on a regular basis?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah, I just started one for fun every now and then when I want to talk about weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna not call it the Gotcha Podcast, but call it the Uncultured Podcast.
Okay.
That way people kind of know what they're signing up for.
Okay.
And then for Steak Eggs, it's just a catch-all.
Right, yeah, it's both of them.
Yeah, how uncomfortable can I make that?
Well, what did you do this week, Emmy?
what did I do this week? The fuck did I do this week?
Jesus.
I recorded something with Miz for his podcast. We did the Baby No Money
I saw
shoot.
that.
You saw that? You were there.
I meant the Miz thing.
Oh.
I was
I
You
very
saw that? How'd you see that?
Because Miz posted the thing of his video. He posted the podcast. He announced it today.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know he posted it. Anyway, I started Yakuza, so that's gonna be my life for a year. Yeah, the Baby No Money shoot was fun. Why didn't you go?
Okay, so I was invited. Full disclosure, I was invited
Big surprise.
by Baby No Money and Miz in advance. I just fucking forgot. And then I saw everybody over there, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Because the way that I'll read you the message that I got, because I got a message from Baby No Money.
Yeah.
And the terminology that he used was so vague. I guess I kind of didn't understand it at first. And then when I got a message from Miz saying, "Bro, what the fuck? Why aren't you here?" I was like, "To what?" And then I realized that this little get together. I have too many fucking DMs of people trying to tell me to kill myself. I don't feel like I can find it. But regardless, I was in the middle of the stream, just completely fucking forgot. And it was good. It was the day where Robin shit just started blowing the fuck up. It probably would have been a good idea for me to be there anyways.
Why?
Well, because just in case any of that creeps in, don't really want to kill the vibes.
Any of what creeps in?
Well, any of the
Oh, the Robin stuff.
yeah,
No.
this guy hates gay people because he wants headcanon shippers to shut the fuck up. So I don't really want to put that on anybody else. So
It was a really good time. Like I
Yeah.
actually enjoyed it. Did you like it?
I don't believe
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
You look so
Well,
uncomfortable
they
with
literally told him, they're like, okay, so the producer gave all of us kind of like roles for like how we were
Oh, is
supposed
that
to
what
like, kind of also Baby No Money was supposed to be like the prince who's like partying, you know.
Yeah.
Then Asmon's supposed to be like his disappointed father that's like,
This round is
you
going
know.
to shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're Ezra, did you dirty that, man?
Yeah.
He put out a clip of Asmon looking so uncomfortable the whole
Yeah, no,
time.
after we finished recording, I was like, man, I probably look so fucking awkward and like weird. And then I saw your editor's clip and I saw me dancing next to you
You look
looking, and
completely
I was like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the thing is, yeah, if I'm in an IRL thing, you don't have to worry about being awkward because I will always be worse.
Oh, fucking
I mean, you were just doing your job,
I
right?
did, and I'll be honest, a lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, hey, maybe I did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the video comes out in July.
That's what he said. I'm not sure if it will or not.
How
I
good
mean,
was the song?
it was good.
It's
I liked
catchy,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was catchy.
Do you like the new song more than Edamame?
I don't know. I'd have to listen to it again and like just kind of. It was like whenever you listen to something on like a speaker,
Yeah.
it's not always the same as listening to it on headphones.
Yeah. The new song's more repetitive, I'd say, but it's definitely like a party dance song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who performed the worst?
who performed the worst?
Yeah.
Well, Soda didn't come at all. They
Yeah.
missed up with his
How about
dog.
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
and Soda didn't show up.
But
And
I,
Soda had an excuse. You didn't even have a real excuse.
I think I forgot. It's a perfect excuse.
Yeah. For sure.
You know,
I mean, shit.
I was told I can come if I want. I didn't know it was like a mandatory thing. It was
No,
like,
no, it wasn't mandatory, but
Yeah.
even Asmon went.
That is shocking. Why
Even
did you go? Just for fun?
I like the guy. I like Baby No Money.
Oh, I like the guy too.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a very casual thing. Like the way it was presented, like very like.
I mean, it was, but
Yeah.
we all went.
Okay,
It was
that's
fun.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
thought
back.
it'd be fine. It was nice.
Yeah, you missed it. Did you watch like the VOD or like of the behind the scenes or anything?
No.
So okay, what all happened? Oh, Sierra and
wizard.
Peach got fake married.
Oh
for the video
yeah.
in the chapel at Sherwood Forest.
Did they?
They did.
Did they kiss?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long?
I don't know, like 5 seconds.
Jesus, bro.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex on camera at that point. That's what I'm saying.
Might as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it went really well. I enjoyed it, and also like they basically didn't make me do anything. All I had to do was just sit there and look at people, and it's like, wow, you're doing a great job. And so yeah, it was really easy for me. I didn't have to do a fucking thing.
There were like 20 or 30 actors too,
Yeah.
all dressed in like Renaissance medieval fantasy
Well,
clothes.
the thing is, I don't even think a lot of them were actors. I think there were people that were just there at the forest at the Renaissance fair,
Really?
just like residuals that are just like, hey, you mind if I come in here? It's just like these random people because yeah, I remember we were talking to them and they were like, yeah, I live here or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, there's a lot of people that just live in the forest down
Yeah,
there. They have like
that's so
campers and shit, and like you drive up through this dirt road. They have like this little settlement, and they've got like
They do.
chickens and shit back there.
Yeah.
They'd be raising chickens.
I didn't see
and
the
stuff.
chickens. I wish I'd seen them.
They had what are they called, guinea hens.
right? How do you disprove that? Emmy, I thought of the solution.
I don't know. I've never been accused of being a pedophile before.
Okay, well, think about it. If you were in Drake's shoes, how would you prove that you weren't one?
I don't know, because people say that because he does be hanging out with teenagers.
True.
He does.
There was that one picture. I don't know if he does it a lot. I have no idea.
There's at least twice it's happened, which is, it's kind of weird it's happened twice.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Drake is way more and infinitely more successful than Kendrick Lamar. And I think he always will be, because Drake has put out so many big hits. He's been doing it for like 15 years. But I have listened to Kendrick Lamar way more.
Yep.
I like Kendrick Lamar way more.
What was your first song?
What?
What was your first Kendrick song?
I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, the entire album.
Yep.
And so I downloaded it, and then I listened to it whenever I was at the IRS, and then whenever I was playing Mr. Pandaria, killing people for bloody coins in Timeless Isle. I would listen to the entire album every day.
That's insane.
So good.
My first one was King Kunta.
Okay.
That's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that Drake makes songs for everybody on Earth.
He does.
Whereas Kendrick makes songs for the boys.
Yeah.
Right? If you're one of the boys,
Yeah.
then you fucking either get Kendrick or you don't get Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm much for Kendrick's music as well. But I think it's the same thing with the rap battles. So I think Drake needs to do a challenge.
Okay.
To prove that he's not a pedophile.
Wow, what could it possibly be?
Bro, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was like, what could he possibly be thinking?
You know what the challenge would be?
Don't fucking kid.
I thought it'd be watch anime.
How much do you enjoy this?
Yeah, how much do you enjoy anime? So there's this one guy on Twitter, and he goes and he says anime is for pedos, and then there was a community note saying that he's getting demonetized because he's obviously engagement farming. He's just a fucking idiot. And so he follows up with another tweet. He says, I'm not engagement farming. I'm actually just a fucking idiot. And then he's got a link to a podcast where he's trying to get this lady from Russia to agree with him that anime is for pedos. And she's like, not really. And he's like, yeah, but it kind of is. She's like, yeah, but. He's like, yeah, but look at this. She's like, oh, maybe it's some people. He's like, yeah, like all of them.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, well, what a crazy topic. Also, Drake would play Legend be at top lane for sure. The amount of jokes that come out from Drake being accused of pedophile is fucking
I don't
insane.
know.
People have been talking about that for years, kind of.
Yeah.
With like Millie Bobby Brown and then that one other girl.
I got no
don't
fucking
know her name.
idea.
There was some girl that I mean, I hope I don't get anything wrong with this because it's like one of those things like if you're wrong, it's like so bad. No, but I saw like but I might get like the numbers wrong. It's this girl that he had met her when she was 15 or 16. Then for her birthday when she turned 18, he bought out an entire restaurant to eat with just her on her birthday, her 18th birthday.
Wait, Drake did?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck?
And there's photos of them together when she was 15 or 16.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I wonder why he did that.
Yeah. Well, what if he's just a great guy?
Yeah, what if
sure
that's like his niece?
Yeah,
yeah.
Who knows? All I'm saying is
Maybe
Kendrick
just
really,
eating dinner alone with your niece on her 18th birthday.
Yeah.
Kendrick really wants the world to know that he really doesn't fucking like this guy.
Yeah.
He hates the idea of Drake. He's gonna kill Drake. He's gonna find who got reincarnated as Drake's next person. He's gonna kill his ass again.
Yeah.
I love how much the internet is celebrating hate culture right now because Kendrick fucking hates his ass with rightful reason too. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Didn't he also say he has like a secret daughter or something?
He did.
Yeah. Something about that.
Maybe that's the girl he took out on her 18th birthday.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
I could make a really good joke about that, but I won't.
Yeah. I'm more
Just
back on
do
joke
it, dude. Just who cares?
Well, the internet.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got a joke?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, she's 11, so I feel like it would be a little bit inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's good because I see a lot of myself in Kendrick.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because I really love hating people.
Uh-huh.
It's what motivates me.
Yeah.
And I have like 4 or 5 people that I hate so fucking much it makes me get up every day.
Wait, who? I know one.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably know.
I don't know the other ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure people watch it know.
People can probably figure it out.
But yeah, it makes me feel good. And people say this person's living in your head rent free. Absolutely. I have a nice little spot. Everybody I fucking hate.
There have been a number of days
What
whenever
hate?
something happened that made me so mad. I was laying in bed. I was like, I don't know if I want to stream today.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, like, what's the point of being alive? And then I read some shit. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is crazy.
Yep.
I've got to make a video about this right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm getting up. I'm on my stream. Like, guys, have you seen this? Look at this asshole.
Hate is a powerful motivator that more people should utilize.
Yeah, it is.
And the problem is that I think the internet thinks, oh, this guy got angry first, which means he lost. No, it doesn't, man. Being angry, there's nothing wrong with being angry. As long as you control it.
Right.
The moment it controls you, that's when you fucking lose.
I mean, yeah, of course. That's why I try never to get mad at people. I really do. I feel like very rarely do I actually get mad.
I'm trying to think. I've seen you get angry at video game bosses.
That's right.
And your keyboard and ice cream sandwiches.
I've never
Ice cream
yelled.
sandwiches?
Yeah.
Well, I ate it.
No, you
Why were you mad?
smeared it on your face when you ate it.
Oh no, that was not an ice cream sandwich. That was only a cookie sandwich.
With ice cream in it.
No, it was cream.
It was like a oatmeal cream
So what
pie?
I did is I told everybody, I said, if we kill this boss on Mythic, I will take this and I will pull it apart and I will smash it on my face. And I did.
Oh, okay.
And we killed it, by the way. It was great.
Yeah, no, that's
That was normal.
sane,
That's completely normal. It was putting on a show.
Oh man, it doesn't even pop up, bro. I can't find the clip.
The funny thing is, I remember in like 2018 or like 2020, people used to always be nostalgic. Man, remember whenever Asmund used to really try to have fun and put cookie on his face?
Yeah.
And then like now they're like, man, remember back then he was so much better. It's like, god damn. Like I have a lot of people like, I mean, do you have people that are like that with you for like League? Or like, oh, I remember whenever you used to just play League and
Yep.
really?
Yeah, like the old streams were so much better. I'm like, no, they fucking
Yeah.
weren't. Whatever, bro.
Yeah, I don't get anybody like that. at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I get that
I
all
guess
the
because you just haven't changed after all these years.
No, I think if you
Yeah.
the League become better. That's what I think.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I look back at my
So
old
you're saying
shit.
we've gotten worse?
Yeah.
Well, here's the
In a
thing.
way.
I look at myself like a snake, you know? And a snake sheds its skin. And that's the way I look at it. It's like you want to shed your skin and evolve over the time. And that's why I kind of change and do things differently. And, you know, you look at my streams from 2 years ago, it's different than the way they are now. And, like, if I look at my streams 2 years from now and the ones I'm doing right now, hopefully they'll be different than that.
It's because you use the word snake.
Yeah?
Why'd you pick snake?
Because snakes shed their skin.
There's no other figure like a
Well, I mean, so there are other animals. Like, for example, a better example really would probably be, like, a bug. Because, like, bugs shed, like, or spiders even sometimes do this because, you know, as they become more of an adult, so it would be like it's getting older.
Yeah.
But I assume that you wouldn't understand that because, like, the World War II thing. And so I just figured snake would be easier to understand.
I have this theory that every overly
You're
successful
trying to
person.
talk shit, huh? You're trying to undercover talk shit.
No, what I'm saying is I have this
Yeah.
theory that everybody who's overly successful
Yeah.
is a lizard person.
Okay.
Like Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
And they're all controlled in the same organization.
Yeah.
They're trying to enslave the human race.
Yeah, in the middle of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Okay. How do you know so much about that?
Well, name a crazy conspiracy. Think of one that I probably wouldn't know about.
Oh, one that you wouldn't know about?
Yeah.
I've only recently got into that. My buddy Pink, Pink 2 on Mission Today. Remember about Pizzagate? Never knew about Pizzagate.
Okay.
Pizzagate.
So
Yeah.
if you want to talk about an iceberg,
Yeah.
that's still above the water. to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I know a lot of crazy, weird conspiracies.
Did you watch the 13-hour video on every single conspiracy?
No.
Okay.
I just spent 30 years looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the craziest conspiracy that you know of then?
Well, I mean, it really depends, right? I mean, like, I think that honestly, whenever I really think about flat Earth, it's probably the craziest one because it's so immediately disprovable, right? So, like, because so, like, for example, like, people can believe crazy conspiracies that they're very disconnected from, right? It's like, oh, JFK was actually secretly done this, or,
Yeah.
you know, they blew up the Twin Towers, the plane didn't even hit them, or something
send a human up to the moon. It's a lot of work.
What about astronaut food?
Astronaut food? You gotta make that shit. There's just no reason. You know what I mean?
Well, there's probably not a real reason. Like, I feel like going to the moon would probably be really boring. I'm gonna be honest. There's probably nothing to do up there. There's no internet. You can't get on a computer. You just sit around and collect rocks. Holy
That sounds
fuck.
awesome. I would sit there for like an hour and just stare at Earth, and I'd be like, oh, no.
That's what people used to do. They would used to just put a rocking chair on their front porch, and they would just sit on it, and then just look all day. Just their little spittoon. I feel like they knew what was going on.
The world. It's not. Was it Deliverance? They don't do that with every. That's like in West Virginia.
That's why people were crazy back then. They were bored. Because now, when people are crazy, they don't sit on their front porch on a rocking chair and wait for someone to walk by to shoot them. Now they go on Twitter.
Yeah, or at any streetlight in Austin, and they say, "Give me your fucking money," because homeless people are just criminal.
Those people always ignore my car.
It's like legal robbery. Like being homeless is legal robbery.
It is. How's it legal robbery?
You just sit at a fucking stoplight.
Yeah.
Anybody who stops at a stoplight, you knock on their fucking window. You tell them to put their window down, and they say, "Give me your fucking money, or we're gonna guilt trip you." It's the worst.
And most of those people are mentally ill. But do you ever see the people that like it's a fucking operation? Like they'll bring like a child and like
Drake.
No, but like, it's like their kid, and so they'll have their kid there like asking for money. It's like okay, like
the same thing with a dog.
Okay.
When a homeless person has a dog, it just drives me fucking nuts. I feel so goddamn bad for the animal. Every single homeless person I've ever seen in my life always gonna say money to. I can't help it.
What are you doing giving you fucking money away to that bullshit?
I know. It's my fault, bro.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, I don't really ever do that. I don't worry about any of that. I've never had a bad experience with a homeless person. It's never been an issue for me. Like, where I live, they've taken over parts of the sidewalk, and, you know, they were building, like, these encampments and everything, and it was crazy. And then apparently, I guess the city, like, kicked them all out or something like that.
I had a really, oh no moment the other day. Because I went to a guys from this place called Jeremiah's, and there was a dude out there who was, like, begging for change and saying, like, he wants to give this shit to, like, children.
Yeah.
Right? And I just look at him and I say, hey, I'll be real, partner. I fucking hate children.
Yeah.
So that way you leave me alone. And he says, wait a minute. Are you tech phone? I just said, oh God. And at that moment, I was like, man, sure hope he don't say nothing about that. But then everything's like in the St. Jude's Hospital at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Did you want to donate $1, $10? Did you help the kids? I'm like, nah, I fucking hate kids.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you supposed to say?
a lot of time I say yes, but then afterwards like I could have just done that on my own, and now it's like a tax write-off.
Yep.
You're gonna write off that $1?
Well, the thing is, a lot of people give like $1.
I mean, probably.
I meant a tax write-off for Best Buy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Whereas like I could have just done it myself and like on their website or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I still need to figure out how that works.
What?
Tax write-offs for charity? I have no idea.
What do you mean, how does it work? You just have an accountant do it.
Okay, let's say for example, all right, let's say I make $1 million
Okay,
in a
that's
year.
a lot.
Okay, and I do a charity run,
Right.
where I earn $2 million
Okay.
for charity.
How much? $3 million total.
Yep. Okay, but it's all that $2 million going to charity. How much money does that save me off taxes off my $1 million?
Great question. So, it depends on where the money is going from to charity, and also if the charity paid you for the event or not, and whether the money actually goes through your personal account or not, or whether it's raised through a third party, or whether it goes to the charity itself. Also, it depends on the way that you report the money, what your initial income was before it, in order to determine what tax bracket you would be in. And I think there's probably 3 or 4 other things that I don't know about, which is why I'm not a CPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
What I would think is every $2 I make for charity, I should save $1 on my own taxes.
Okay.
I think that'd be fair.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, Jesus, I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
I think that's kind of how it works. Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Because then I give them $1, I keep $1.
Okay.
Money, boom.
So then does that mean you don't have any money because like you had $2? Well, I guess no. Yeah, you keep $1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a fun question.
Oh,
if
good.
you guys were the president,
Yeah.
for a day,
I would make it illegal for any sort of radio commercial to have a car siren, like a police siren, playing in the commercial, and the penalty for having it would be death.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's mine.
I would finally fucking ban TikTok. Like just get it over with, man. It's been like 4 years of like
Really?
teasing it. Yes.
You gonna ban them?
it's crazy. I started to TikTok yesterday.
Wow.
Ban it.
Just in
Get it
time
outta
to
here.
get fucking banned.
I wonder what the next platform is. I really don't think it's going to be banned. Full disclosure, I don't think it's going to be banned at all.
It shouldn't be
I
banned.
don't think so either. But
Yeah.
if TikTok does get banned, I mean, like, people just move to YouTube Shorts probably.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude, YouTube shorts are just so fucking bad, though.
I get
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts all the time, and it's all about how bad women are. Like, I get a lot of these guys. Let me tell you something.
Your algorithm is
I
crazy.
wonder why.
Mine's like cosplay,
Yeah.
cute animals, Twitch streamers. His is like, I fucking hate women.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine are cats and League of Legends. That's it.
Well,
I get a lot of Dark Souls and Elden Ring ones.
Yeah.
I only get bullshit. Like, and it's like people even said like the Asmongold subreddit, it's like the home-based friends. Asmongold clips.
That's so good, dude.
It's so fucking funny.
You ever notice how beautiful of a game League of Legends is?
Oh,
When it's-
God.
No,
Like the design.
no. When someone plays a character perfectly, how beautiful it is. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I think so. When Darius is played perfectly, attack, W to fucking auto, to fucking do the fucking double attack.
Yeah.
Man. You space perfectly. You hit the Q. You E them. They bounce just right. Q them again. They get low. You alt them, slam, fears them. Q hit the other guy. Alt slam. Dude, we gotta get you on League. I want to play League so
You
bad.
really want me to play that fucking bullshit?
I've
would make
seen
me so
Soda
happy.
and Forster playing League
I
from
know,
like
I've
when we
seen
were.
that, yeah.
It's great.
I think you'd be good too.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think you'd be good.
Like usually to me, I don't like really having to give a fuck.
You won't.
Really?
League is the one game. That's why I love it. Where you get a general understanding of it, and then you just have fun. And it's fine.
Yeah.
Because
I don't want to spend 40. Like imagine spending 40 minutes a game and you lose.
Well,
Like, I would want to fucking kill
no,
myself.
if you play with me, you're gonna lose.
Well, I don't know about
That's not
that.
true, man.
Okay,
Yeah, I know
listen,
that's not true.
If you ever play a game with me,
Okay.
and you lose, we never play ever again.
All right.
We will literally never lose.
All right.
Because I'll take the. I mean, you
Bro,
can say no.
I mean,
He does.
he
you
needs
say
to be
this.
challenger.
I did.
He plays with people that are like fucking iron, so of course he does well. Then
So
I play.
he's iron. So then when I play with him, it'll go well.
He just wants to like carry and look good.
No, I literally just want to show out in a new game because I think you would enjoy it because it's good. It's all I do. All I do. I mean, you play solo queue and you hate your fucking life.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I've
do.
actually been very happy lately.
That must
Not
be
because
nice.
of League, but
Okay, when I play League, I have fun. I go there and I play the best character in all of gaming history, Dr. Mundo, because that's who I am in real life. Play Dr. Mundo, play Darius, play Mordekaiser, play Trundle.
Yeah.
do you think what characters people have in their pool in games like that is like reflective of what they are as a
Absolutely.
person? Okay, well, what do you think about my champ pool? Got some
I think that you.
Jinx, Jin, Caitlyn, Kog'Maw, Sona.
Yep. So you're an anime girl. Okay, you like anime, and you need someone to help you do your job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, you need support. You can tell everything about a person by who they are. Like, for example, top laners. You know what they want?
What?
Just to be left alone.
Okay.
That's you.
They also want. Never mind. I was gonna. They also want children.
Top laners want to be left alone.
Okay.
Junglers, they want to help.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm there for anybody the moment they fucking need it. AD carries want to be praised, but also they want someone there to make sure that things. They don't want to be alone when things get difficult, right? So they have their partner supports. Generally great people. Fucking just the best people. I think who plays
Yeah.
super fucking nice. Mid laners are all egotistical douchebags that should kill themselves.
Is it really that big of a difference?
Oh
Like,
my
what
god,
do you
yes.
No, there's different kinds of mid laners because there's like the control mage mid laners, like Lux
there's like a 100% chance you smoke cigarettes, right?
Yes.
Like, and that's just how it is. And like, is it the same for League where there's just like stereotypes that are always
there's
true?
a lot of
Absolutely.
stereotypes.
Yeah. The worst characters. Yeah, Yone, Yasuo, Zed. They're always really bad. I really don't like people who play Vayne.
Yeah.
They're always egotistical, and they think that they're like the fucking greatest, like giga narcissists.
Vayne is one of the best 1v1 characters in the game, so people will pick her thinking that they're like going to do that, but a lot of the time they're not.
Right, so then they beat somebody in 1v1, they're like, I knew I was the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably what I would play.
Who's the
That
character?
would be sick.
You know, who's a character who, if somebody plays them, I like them. Somebody plays Nunu.
Nunu?
Yeah, she's a great guy.
Have you never met like a run it down Nunu?
No.
Oh.
Is that a thing? I run it down where they just snowball down mid over and over again?
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
So how's League still popular? It's the same fucking map.
It's so fucking good.
Is it really?
It's just good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I get bored.
No, because there's so many new modes. There's 5v5. There's ARAM, which is great if you want to meet like a girl.
It's like deathmatch.
Yeah, and then there's Arena, which is, oh my god, I don't know why the fuck we haven't done an OTK in-house Arena.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I agree, but it's my idea, so please don't take it.
How? But it'd still be OTK, so does it?
Okay, well, Tecton's Arena.
Okay.
Legends.
Tecton's Arena, wow.
I'm not going.
Great idea.
8 teams of 2s.
Yeah.
Fighting each other every round. It's like a roguelite where like each round you get a buff that amplifies your character. It has a random effect. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like, they innovate, all the characters are great. Whether you like League or not, Worlds is so fucking cool. Like, it is the best esports event every fucking year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good, man. It's just good. And like, it's just also really fun to shit on, even if you do like it. Because we acknowledge
That's how WoW is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, League sucks, but we know that.
Right.
It's like the asshole we know versus the asshole we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I get bored. I played Heroes of the Storm for a long time. Not a while. That was nice a little bit.
Heroes of the Storm was amazing.
It was alright.
I would use the word amazing. My favorite no matter. And I hate how Blizzard just forgot about it.
Yeah, everybody says they like Heroes of the Storm, but where were you whenever you actually had to play the game?
I was there.
Yeah?
Every goddamn season.
Really?
Fuck yeah, me and my buddy Edric, we would do all that shit. We would get to Diamond, and then we would stop playing it.
Diamond in Blizzard games isn't real Diamond.
Oh, I agree. It's just a joke.
Is it easy?
Okay, so in most games, Diamond would be, depending on the game, like top 1 to 5%.
Yeah.
In Blizzard, they make it like top 25%.
Wow.
So it's very
So
inflated.
getting to Diamond and Here's the Storm was pretty much the same as getting to Silver and Legends.
Okay.
No, it's probably gold, but
Well, for me, it was very easy. I'm not gonna give you like 23 games, we won every single one, then we stopped. Like, just 0% chance you lose. Because Heroes was so much more about team coordination than actually people being good. So when there was somebody who was good, it didn't really matter that much because you leveled up at the same time, you didn't have CS, so I fucking love Heroes, man. I miss it. But let's play League this week.
I'm still busy, bro.
What have you been doing?
I got a tournament on Thursday for
For what?
League.
You have a League tournament on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Who's playing?
Double with Pobelter, Box, and a bunch of other people that don't play League.
So,
Is that the AT&T thing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
so where am I? Who am I playing with?
Well, you can watch the stream maybe. That sounds exciting. Yeah.
What's the winner get?
So it's a 4-week tournament. The prize pool is $250,000.
$250,000?
Yes, sir.
Is there a belt?
No.
Oh, who cares? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Literally, if it's a Valorant tournament, I won that shit. Money, that belt.
I think first place is like $100,000, which
Yeah.
I think Jake and Jake's got for
That's
3
nothing.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's about the accolades. It's about the trophies. That's what fucking matters.
Right.
The belt is so fucking cool. Oh, by the way, I see on this here notepad here, Gideon's unbanned.
He did. He got unbanned, I guess, like maybe a few hours before the show.
Yeah, so what happened? I have no idea who that is.
So he was a YouTube guy, and I don't know what he's doing right now. And he got banned about like a little over 2 years ago for like some like weird drama with Pokimane. I'm not gonna get into the details, but basically he stayed banned for a really, really long time, and apparently now he's unbanned. I mean, that's pretty much about it.
Oh, Gian. Well, that's this guy on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Good for him. So is he a bad guy?
No, he's a good guy. I like him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Do you know who that is, Emmy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Gian?
So I think what happened 2 years ago is that his community like hate rated Pokey and he got perma. But I'm pretty sure that like they like talked it out and made up and Pokey was like, yeah, we're cool, but Twitch still wouldn't unban him for some reason.
Yeah, Gideon, like he was 100% in the wrong in the initial situation, but after that, yeah, it was kind of weird that he stayed banned for so long. Whenever it seemingly got resolved, but I don't know. Maybe that was just like publicly.
Yeah, who knows?
So with the whole